stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch you sniping when we're young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch you sniping when we're young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch you sniping when we're young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch you sniping when we're young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels, it's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch you sniping when we're young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch you sniping when we're young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we climb to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top.
Oh, well, another fine day, another fine evening, and guess what? We have two fine teams playing in the Rise Star and Gaming Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, we love to welcome you into this amazing tournaments. And you know, when we talk about tournaments, the bigger the prize pool, the bigger the hype, and the bigger the players' motivation to play. And right now, we have two amazing teams that's going to be IQS12 going up against Team Elusivity Esports. And I think these names always ring in our ears, and the players too. We all know them. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you formally once again. My name, myself, is Shinryu. I'm joined by my good friend Sasuke on the right, left. I mean, we'll figure it out by the time we are going with it, of course. But Sasuke, what is the idea behind today's games? Like, I think you're cooking up something, isn't it? Or no?
Well, it's not exactly I'm cooking up something, but it is definitely both the team who are cooking up something. But I'll give you a hint. I have something which might spike a lot of interest for you, for me as well, and also for our
Oh,
good viewers who are watching it. Let me show you one thing. Do you know what this is? Hey, hey.
that's that's not the death note, right? You did not write my name into it, right? That's not the death note.
It's not a death note.
Okay.
Do
Oof.
you know Mr. Professor? Do you know Mr. Professor?
I mean, I don't even know the name of my professors at the university
Ah,
anymore. But
okay, okay.
which professor are we relating again, Sasuke?
I'll give you more clarify hint. We are talking about the professor who has been into the MLCs for a long time, and his best friend is one of the best friend is with me tonight. So I think this is much more of a hint today.
I've
If you
seen
need,
it somewhere though. I've seen it somewhere though. Might be a very recent tournament, and I've seen two of them. Is it what I think it is, Sasuke? Like, is it?
maybe maybe not.
Don't tell me it is the diary of the professor. Is it?
It is.
Oh
It
no.
is.
How
You
did
know,
you get your hands on those? Like what?
it's better that it stays with me because I don't want to get exposed the things I had did to get this thing. But you and me, not probably you, but I'll be looking into the things which has been hitting for a long time. And guess, yeah, that's right. This is the diary of the Mr. Professor, aka Apex, which is And this is his best friend. Doesn't let anyone read it. And this time I got my hands. So let's just look onto it because I'm excited. Just this because it's the track finale. I'm more keen to like what kind of a preparation they have been going on and what kind of a draft they will be implementing. This could be 100% true, 100% this fabricated thing. But let's just see and go with this. Like it's written like they will be going with some new ideas in kind of a draft, and also they'll be prioritizing a ban for Uranus most probably because, and also some kind of a ban which are kind of respected towards the LCTVT esports. But I might not break a little bit more because breaking it more or just doing it more might spoil the mood and the draft for it. But you got the things, and I'm really too excited. And also moving on to draft, we can already see like, hey, there's a Kiwi ban alongside a Lance slot. And just to be more clarified, this is going to be a best of seven match. USA
Mhm.
Duel on the blue side taking on LCVT Esports onto the red side. Rock alongside Esmeralda has been banned out from LCVT Esports. This is quite of a good start from LCVT Esports. The ban is looking kind of a strong, meaning they are trying to go and gamble it out with the Kalia. If IPSC will go with the Kalia, they could respond with the Kacha or something like that. Grog ban really good, but the third ban, I'm looking forward for a Zushin because if not, IQSL might prioritize it, and knowing Asuna, he is quite a demon onto that hero.
Definitely. And I think we kind of fast tracked into a little bit thing. So let me just give you a little bit short background of what is happening here, so the new viewers who just joined in can get a little bit of idea. We began this tournament with 124,024 teams, not 100 but 1,000. There's a 10th out there. So with all those teams coming to the top 32, now we divided them into two halves, that is 16 and 16. This is the Gyan gaming track, and these are the final two teams. The one winning here, Sasuke, is getting 2.5 lakh rupees instantly. Like, no question asked. You win, you get the money. And then you proceed to the LAN even, of course. But then again, the losing team, they're not getting too much of a value. So the draft which you mentioned, you have that book. I think Apex has the other pair, which somewhere with him, I know I've seen two of them. So that is there. Maybe there could be more, of course. There could be much more than the number that comes in before our eyes. But then again, the draft, like you mentioned, these diaries are especially for the drafting, and also the game plans that they have, the strategies that they have devised for each and every game that is going to be played in this tournament and in different tournaments as well. So the data is of course there, but again, like you mentioned, the draft is going to be very important. The bans picks, you already have talked about it, and the Eastern Shin being the first pick. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that Radium is finally back into the lineup, right? And this changes a lot. You know it as well, Sasuke, because him being back really motivates the team, because lately they have been struggling a little bit. And I think the balance which was there for IQ SA12 for the longest period of time is somewhere again reignited. And I think we might just see them, you know, I don't know how decisive the win will be, whether it will be one-sided or not, whether we'll go for a longer series. But I think Elusivity Esports, given their background, given their side of the story, they're pretty good. They know what to pick, and they're very good in terms of the micro as well as the macro. And I've seen this time and again that they falter when they are during, mostly in the lands, not in the online phases. Online phases, they are pretty much, they look indomitable, and they are really, a team that knows what's the deal around the map. They're not like clueless, just bots just roaming around in the game, right? They know what to do. They will do it properly through synchronized way. But then again, IQ SA12, I think that's not the game plan that will work, isn't it?
Well, that's true, and it responds for the side of Elusivity Esports too. Like, hey, as IQ SA12, they have been in this competitive series for a long time, so they are also kind of an open book. Teams know, like, hey, what kind of priority ban they should do, what kind of picks they should take. And also Elusivity Esports, they are nothing like, it's kind of a new team. They have also been there into the competitive series for a long time, and also been practicing winning, losing against everything, and making it this far. They're also looking quite confidence to look and just try to compete with IQ SA12. This could be their final boss to between the 2.5 lakh prize pool and also a ticket towards the land. But looking at the draft, I'm thinking like Yuzhong is quite open, and Elusivity Esports might prioritize it with the Kalia. If not, then a Yuzhong with the Katut Kacha is always a better option. If not, they could go with Claude into the goal lane. That is also a good pick, unless and until they are afraid, like, hey, IQ SA12 might pull up a Lunox into the gold just to stop down the Claude. So there is a lot of things, and also they could prioritize mid. Kimi is also open. Kimi is banned. So that leads to the Kadita, which is especially a priority pick for both IQ SA12 and also for Elusivity Esports. So if that could be the scenario, and also I think like this could be a dangerous grass map. So that gives a good leverage for Karita to be able to pick in this kind of a map.
Yeah, I think that Karita is more of a playstyle that Asuna likes to go for. Of course, I think it's still a priority. Whether you like to play it or not, you would want to still go for it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering why the draft isn't moving forward, there has been a pause that has been taken during this draft phase. So that's why the draft is not moving forward. We'll resolve the issue, whatever the issue be at hand. We'll get the info soon. So we'll just resolve the issue. And we want the best environment for the teams to be, playing in, because a lot is on the line. And when we talk about 2.5 lakh prize pool, it's not even the major prize pool of some of the tournaments nowadays, the online ones I'm talking about, of course. And just winning it online is a lot of things that goes through your head. So the players need to be in the right conditions, not only mentally but also the physically, like whether it's their device, whether it is the internet, whatever be it. Okay, so keeping that aside, the heroes, the priorities, right? Like you mentioned, since Kadita is open, that could be a hero that they can go for. Then again, you mentioned Dangerous Grass. Unfortunately, it has to wait for Sasuke, because this one will be Expanding River, so it's very fast rotation, right? So, heroes like Farsa, they get the advantage because of the Wings by Wings, right? And some of the heroes which are slower, like the Eve, be it at hand, and the Zushin is banned, but then again, Zushin is not too fast with the rotation. But then again, with the Expanding River, they can take a lot of advantage, because in Expanding River, you don't necessarily need to make your boot first. You can prioritize your item first, the damage magic item first, so you can get your scaling a lot quicker than you would actually do in other respective maps, of course. So that's one way to go if you are playing a burst damage mage like the Lunox, which you have also mentioned. If not into the gold lane, can go into the mid lane as well, because both Asuna as well as Shenzu here are very good user of the Lunox. I tell you that, I kid you not, because I've seen their gameplays live, and it's a different atmosphere, because they are really momentum based player. And for Asuna, he's more of a playmaker, and for Shenzu, he's more of a momentum based player. He gets more confidence the more team fight he wins. And when you will see the team is not really winning those team fights, when they are pushed back, his gameplay can get punished. So that is something which Asuna does not contribute to. Like, he's very stable minded. Like, he does not depend on the team overall. He's the one who will be the one, changing those. I mean, basically, he makes the clutch play. That's what I want to say about Asuna here. So that's something, the difference we can see on the mid prio at least.
Well, that's agreeable, and that is something which Elusivity Sports needs to look out for the later phases of the game, because into the top four, while they make their spot to the track finale, we saw like Asuna did something amazing. While he was hiding in an unexpected bush with the Lunox waiting for the perfect target, and just then, Carrie was walking nearby, and with one chaos of dark ultimate, he was able to melt down Carry out of the picture, and that was the turnover time to which IQSF will grab and just made it to a victorious win. So definitely Asuna is able to is the guy which you need to look out for constantly, and also if you look out too much for it, something like Joseph might prioritize the damage dealing aspect, and also Radium is always there with a constant push, or whether he picks out Claude, whether he picks out something else like a Lunox onto the goal lane we saw, or perhaps he might go with the Yi Senshin goal. Like they had been doing it, they had did it earlier in this series itself, a few days ago, if I'm not wrong, but they could probably go with it again. But we are not quite sure like how much of it is kind of a good. And personally, I don't really like a Essential Gold, like putting him on the gold lane. Two factors which could you consider like hey, Essential on the gold lane is kind of a good. Like first thing, you're not giving it away to the enemies. That is one thing. If you're not able to ban it, just pick it, and you can flex pick it if you don't really like to go with the jungle, or you don't feel like hey, it doesn't suit well with the kind of enemy lineup they are going with. But again, hey, the enemy goal laner is kind of a plot, so he can win the lane. You can put it up. That's good. Overall, in team fight, he's not able to give up the kind of things which usually normal marksmen do. A continuous poke or something like that. Like hey, it's a waiting game near the turtle or something like that, and the marksman he does the continuous poke, or the mid lane, the mages they do their stuff like poking around with the frontliners, making sure they are low, they're moving to his back. So he's Sachin goal onto the goal. He doesn't do that because he needs to maintain his passive over and the one shot of melee, one shot of rage. Yeah, he can go with the two range shot and use the second skills, but that's it. Like you got four shots, you get the point. Like into jungle, he has the whole point. Like hey, he doesn't need to be the one to poke around. He can go with the team and come out with the team with a mountain shocker. He can do all the stuffs, and mostly into jungle we have seen like hey, Gisenshin is the last one to jump, or perhaps would be the first one to jump if they are outnumbering the enemies. That's the kind of a whole scenario.
I do get your point. You're basically mentioning the fact that the potential is pretty much wasted when you put it on the goal lane, right? Because for Essential, his farming speed is pretty fast. I think one of the fastest, if not the fastest right now. In the previous patches, he was the fastest. Like 8 minute or 7 to 8 minute was the time where you can get level 15, and that's a very fast scaling for a late game hero, I would say. Now it has been reduced considerably, but not to the point that is totally nerfed or out of the picture. And then again, you've mentioned the flex potential that they go for. That's very well possible because we know Joseph, he really likes to play fast heroes. He likes to play heroes that has the playmaking ability. And I think Essential does fit his playstyle, so it can still be a jungle. But then again, we cannot deny the fact which you have just mentioned, because that's a very good, idea that they can actually adopt in this game. But then again, whenever you see an Essential, instantly you would want to pick the assassins, right? And for Godspeed, he can play the Fanny, he can play the Hayabusa, he can play Suyu, and there are a lot more that he can actually go for. He can go for the Joy too, which is completely open in this game. And if they do not go for a counter like the Fredrin, and I tell you, Fredrin can also be picked by Elusivity, but then again, it will not be able to mark the backline. So they need something else for that purpose. So the Yuzhong pick, which you have mentioned very beginning, that can come through, because the against the Yusunshin, the Yuzhong as well as the Garud Kacha are really good heroes that you can use. And knowing Rudius, he can play the Garud Kacha pretty well. And if he wants to go for something else, it could be the Hilda to pressure the jungle more, or maybe just maybe Khalid. That can also work in their favor in terms of roam, right? Your main purpose is to slow down the farming speed of this Essential and to just make his rotation quite less to the side lane, so your side lanes can get the opportunity to get the scaling faster. But then again, like you mentioned, there will be a lot more to deal with than this Ascension alone in the game, right? It's not just 1v1 at the end of the day, right? So I think the team will contribute to how this Ascension will be drafted around. And I think they can go for a double fighter comp in this game, because with the Ascension, you already have a marksman in the in the damage potential. So you need more of a sustain on the front line who can die, who can actually, give a little bit of healing for your hero to just dive in. So that could be an idea, but still, so far, I think all our guesses, all our predictions have to wait since the draft has not moved on. So we have talked about these lanes quite particularly, but one lane which we have not particularly talked about would be the EXP lane, right? We talked about the Yushong, but then again, there's Asuna, right? And I think Asuna was considered the EXP standard for the longest time until Godlike has been winning these tournaments quite often, quite frequently. So I don't know how much that debate is going on again, because people are really getting crazy over rom-com nowadays. So I think there's one more statement that needs to get settled if both these teams can qualify for the finals. And I think you have something to say, so I'll just pass the mic to you.
For the side of IQSATL, it's not Asuna's EXP, it is NT.
I'm sorry.
And
Yeah.
you get confused with both the names starting from the alphabet A. And that's quite pretty confusing, because I think I might have did something similar mistake yesterday, but that's okay. And you did made a very good point. Like Anti, he's been there for a long time, and also his EXP lane heroes, like it's been quite vast. Like he's been playing amazing. He showed Marty's few couple months ago, and in this tournament itself, he picked a Thamus as well. It worked exceptionally for the side of IPS2L against this Alice, against the Esmeralda. So they are looking quite confident, like hey, we can just go and prioritize this kind of a lane. And also in this book, I saw like give anti or give the side lanes a winning lane that would boost down your winning potential, and you don't need to rotate that much. And if your side is winning, then you can just choke down the mid lane, so even they will not be able to rotate towards the side lanes to help down, and boom, you'll be controlling all the neutral objectives around that. You'll be controlling all the side lanes, and onto the turtles segment, you have both your winning lanes, and also you will be dominating more onto that. But one thing is for sure, that IPS12 might ban a Uranus, because they have been doing that consistently, and also his regen potential is up to the sky. Like you especially need a lot more resources just to melt down that bad boy, and using all those resources just to melt down a frontliners, especially like a Uranus, it doesn't seem viable. And also panning out seems more kind of a thing like which you would opt for.
Absolutely. I think go on, please.
No. I was gonna mention about Sora, because LOCVT esports, they have this kind of a draft. Like if not a Yuzhong, or if they want a Yuzhong, they could go with a double fighter and skip down the marksman kind of a thing. But that would be a double-edged sword, because in the second pick they could do something like that, like hey, just onto the third pick Sora, and then ban Valentina, and something like that, something gimmick like that. That is also a viable option for them. And also, if they don't want to prioritize Sora onto the second onto the third pick, they can also prioritize in the second phase of the draft, because they will be having the first pick.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of idea that we have put up for now, and the teams, they might be also thinking what to do. But for now, since we are trying to resolve the issue, we'll just take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned, don't go anywhere, because we'll be fixing the issue as quickly as possible. I kid you not, we will have the best matches possible. For now, game number 1 is very crucial, so we need everything to be set up properly. So see you just in a bit. So just go and prepare your popcorns and your snacks. So, and by the time you're back, we'll be here watching you guys.
Meanwhile, I'll be enjoying this book. Thank you.
You're now rocking with the legendary stunt. And it ain't over until we say it's done. You know what it is. Let's go, baby.
You know I came up from nothing. It's the sun out, you know I ain't stressing. I know you already know what it takes, so follow my lead, let's go. We can roll with the punches. Legends, we fight to the dawn. Heroes all along, don't have to do it alone. Nah. is unlocking. If we stick together, we'll end up on top.
Feeling every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. Don't have to go solo, low, low, 'cause you're not alone, low, low, low. Together we are heroes, heroes.
Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Taking all of them down, down, down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Make the enemies bow down, bow down,
Down to your hero.
Fight of our lives, gotta survive. Walk on the 515. About to go live, party or die. We go establish the night. Step in the spot with my crew. Together we're stronger than ever. You know how we do. Will we start your through? Victory's ours. I would've thought you knew. We're unstoppable. MVP defeat ain't optional. This ain't hard to do. Our team achieve the impossible. My whole squad is lit. Ain't gonna target that is hard to hit. Legendary when we rockin' it. Ain't no stopping this.
Got in my mind, feeling like a sinner. Look at your eyes, I'm fighting like a winner. Triple killer, yeah. You know I deliver, yeah. I'm feeling you was like a criminal. Feeling this thing in personal. Taking it one at a time, being a beast in the crowd. Face just like an angel, but I beg just like a god. But that's living inside. So if you turn your back, I make sure I back. Every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. I bring hell from below, low, 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 low. I leave you begging, begging for more. Together we are heroes, heroes.
yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Taking all of them down, down, down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Make the enemies bow down, down, bow down.
Down to your hero.
You're now rocking with the legendary stunt. And it ain't over until we say it's done. You know what it is. Let's go, baby.
You know I came up from nothing. It's the sun out, you know I ain't stressing. I know you already know what it takes, so follow my lead, let's go. We can roll with the punches. Legends, we fight to the dawn. Heroes all along, don't have to do it alone. Nah, nah, nah. 515 party victory lap. Find our enemies, maniac, yeah. We're looking out for the world. Everyone, you know they heard stop. Get with the team, don't stop. Fiery heart of a dragon, attack is unlocking. If we stick together, we'll end up on top.
Feeling every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. Don't have to go solo, low, low, 'cause you're not alone, low, low, low. Together we are heroes, heroes.
Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Taking all of them down, down, down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Make the enemies bow down, bow down,
Down to your hero.
Fight of our lives, gotta survive. Walk on the 515. About to go live, party or die. We go establish the night. Step in the spot with my crew. Together we're stronger than ever. You know how we do. Will we start your through? Victory's ours. I would've thought you knew. We're unstoppable. MVP defeat ain't optional. This ain't hard to do. Our team achieve the impossible. My whole squad is lit. Ain't gonna target that is hard to hit. Legendary when we rockin' it. Ain't no stopping this.
Got in my mind, feeling like a sinner. Look at your eyes, I'm fighting like a winner. Triple killer, yeah. You know I deliver, yeah. I'm feeling you was like a criminal. Feeling this thing in personal. Taking it one at a time, being a beast in the crowd. Face just like an angel, but I beg just like a god. But that's living inside. So if you turn your back, I make sure I back. Every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. I bring hell from below, low, 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 low. I leave you begging, begging for more. Together we are heroes, heroes.
yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right
Oh, I think you are still not done reading that, Sasuke, because we are finally back from the break, and I know you're enjoying that. I know you're really, really enjoying that, but hey, come out of that, the draft, we have to work with it. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, see, I got Sasuke's attention back, and I want you guys' attention to be back on because the game is finally going to get resumed. We have solved the issue. It was just a minor one, not too much of a problem, not with the players, of course. So, with everything resolved, now we proceed further away. We have seen the Ascension being picked. We had a lot of discussion about what comes after that, right? For both the teams, what do they respond and what do they, again, counter that with? So, a lot of options on the table, of course. But hey, whenever I see a buffet, Sasuke, I get really confused where to start off from. I know there are starters, I know there are main courses, I know there are dessert, but sometimes I just like to start from the main course. So is Ascension the main course or is it just a starter? What does the book say?
I really want to disclose a lot, but it also gonna backfire to me. But let's just enjoy the draft and let's just not worry about the book. And for now, it is looking quite promising for the main course if you look in that kind of a view. But if things go south, they can also convert it to the desert, which you just mentioned, and which I don't personally like the Shin as a desert. But okay, it's up to the team. If they can pull it, they can win it. It's good for them. And also, there is a lot of potential options. Now, just we think of there was a big question mark in the book which I saw and which got my attention. We'll get back to it when I see some major picks or the counter pick, which could be, the big question mark could used up against. So let it be a concealed or a bit of suspense, build it up till the time. And moving on to the draft, like we might be able to see a lot of things. Like hey, they can also prioritize the Suyo over to the third pick. Like you just mentioned earlier, like Yi Sun-shin was one of the quickest jungler who can just go around, so clean the jungle fast, sweep up around, and get the level 15 around 7 to 8 minutes. So you could be the potential matchup with the assassin kind of build. It's really up to the LCVT esports if they want to kind of go with the Ube kind of a draft or they want to grab an assassin like a Yi Sun-shin into the mid lane, because it also works really well in terms of damage and also in terms of securing the objective, especially against the Yi Sun-shin.
Definitely. I think if we talk about jungling speed right now, another hero which have been popular quite recently is the Leo mod. Though not assassin, a fighter, but the farming speed has been quite up because of the recent buffs and the adjustment that he has received. But I think, and actually it works pretty well against Yi Sun-shin too. I think the Leo mod can put you in a lot of pressurized position because you have to constantly deal with the phantom steed when it's coming right at your face. You just have one dash to get out with. You were mentioning about this Yu Xiong, and I also double down on it. That is a very good hero against the Yi Sun-shin, so that comes along that. And since expanding river, so the rotation will not be a problem for a hero like the Eve. So what are your thoughts?
It's good, but for the counter pick, IPSHUL might go with a Farsha right away if they want to seal the deal, or maybe a Kadita if they really want to look for the surprise attack or the surprise element. And also, I think they can right over here if they want to prioritize, they can go with the Esmeralda, but I get the tingling feeling that they're gonna save the EXP lane for the later phase and will probably go with a Claude kind of a gold lane pick, or maybe a Lunox, which could be either a flex pick, but they go with the Alice along with the Hilda instead. Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
I mean, at this point, they cannot pick up the Lunox anymore to burst down the Alice. They have to work with the Eve, but then again, the Eve works pretty good, especially against the tanky heroes, and to reduce the region they will opt for the Baxia jungle, which I honestly believe really reduces the potential for Julius as a mechanically gifted player. He's very good with the assassin, so putting him on a hero like this utility hypers or utility jungler, it kind of is giving you a story like, hey, Kyrie's playing and why we will give him assassin, just let him play the utility because he can. So it's not just what you can, it's what works. And in this game, I believe the Baxia works, but then again, it's very one-dimensional. Like if your first skill is down, you cannot escape. If you get stuck inside the team fight, and if you do not have a way out, it's going to be very difficult for a hero like the Baxia to actually try and survive. Because yes, you have insane survivability, you have insane tankiness, But that's all. Like, you do not have exceptional damage, you do not have exceptional, team fight presence. You can just reduce the heal. So is it good enough in this kind of high stake games? What do you think, Sasuke?
It is kind of a good because into the team fights, if you think about it, like it kind of work with the real world manipulation if they really want to play around the Eve, and with the Baksha, I feel like they are looking forward with it. And I think into the Roma section, they are looking forward with the Kalya, because if someone is trying to escape, or if Kalya managed to get Isan Shin with the Tsunami Slam, there will be a real world manipulation, a constant blow of a draft, the blow of the damage, and also with the Baksha rolling around inside it, it will be a proper setup which Elusivity Esports are looking forward. IPSC 12 might go with that kind of a ban, or perhaps they could ban us a potential goal laner. Claude is looking quite promising into that lane, because pair it up. You got a Baksha, you got a backline, the whole control type mage into the mid. You are still lacking the damage potential, which will be picking it up into the gold. There is a CC ban, which is kind of a good gate, but in terms of a marksman, there is a Claude. If they are not going to pick it up, stealing would be a good thing for Elusivity Esports. But with the Valentina ban over there, I'm getting the vibes of Sura pick into gold lane against against the marksman. And Sura Thunderform is really insane, and it can burst down all the squishy heroes. And perhaps we can see like, hey, Sura might burst down the Yisanshin itself. And IPSC they ban out the Kalya, thinking of like, hey, that could be a potential way to go option for them. But instead they go with the Khalid, Elusivity Esports, still looking around to play with the EU kind of a EU around. They're looking forward to play around the EU. You got a Yuzhong, you all the control and setup kind of a hero.
I mean, I get the idea what they might be trying to do here. It's more of, stay inside the box and we fight you there for Elusivity Esports. And IQS they are like, we'll give you that, technically. And then again, the Lunox pick, which you were really, really focusing on from the very beginning. It's like, I know you have a cheat code and you're using it, so I cannot blame you for that. But then again, the Lunox did come through. And again, if not for Elusivity Esports, it works extremely good for IQ SATUL, because of the fact that they needed some more damage. They have pretty good front line, but the damage was lacking a little bit. And I think the Lunox really fills that early game spot. It's like a very good transition from the early to the mid to the late game, right? And I feel it's a very standard draft that IQS is going for. Very safe too. I think it's not very risky. And then again, it does the work pretty well. But then again, you see, it's gonna be a Yisanshin gold lane, not a Lunox gold lane. It's gonna be a Guinevere jungle and against a Baxia, so I think how will that fare? We need to see. But then again, Granger into the goal lane. What are your thoughts for the matchups for the laning phases at least?
Systematic draft coming in from the side of Elusivity Esports, a Granger against Yisanshin. That is something which we need to look out for, because also Granger's running with a Purify, so there will be a less kind of a thing. But again, into the mid lane, they both have the potential to burst down. It really look on, or it will be really easy for both the gold laners to go and just farm. But in terms of the damage, in terms of securing and getting more dominance over it, I think Yisanshin might have the upper hand if he manages to dodge all the Rhapsody and make sure the Granger is out of the energy, the Rhapsody shooting energy. But overall, it's kind of a good. IPS duel, they kind of have a draft which could go with the re-engage, and also do have the early burst potential, so they can also contest. And also Elusivity Esports, they do have the answer for it. Like both the rumors, they do have the exceptional burst damage into the early game. Hilda, if he just charge over to the EU, she can melt down with the help of Lunox. And also Khalid, he also have the burst potential to melt down Lunox even at the level 1. So it's going to be pretty chaotic into the mid, and also into the XP lane. Yuzhong will have the lane priority just because of this passive, the Shah residue.
Absolutely. I think it's more practical when we see it happening on the land, in the Land of Dawn. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we would love to welcome you into the Land of Dawn for this, Gyan track finals between IQ IQS12 taking on against Elusivity Esports for a best of 7. We have a long night ahead of us. Myself, Shinri, and I'm joined by Sasuke for casting this game, and we'll see how this game number 1, which could also be testing the water, go, because we see an Essential goal lane, which does not happen every day and very often. But again, on the top lane, Anti already putting the pressure, already getting pressured. You mentioned about this Khalid's rotation. Even at level 1, he can put a lot of pressure. Already viable on the map, we can see it happening, but the retribution win here is gonna take place for Julius. He gets the Little Wanderer for the first time.
One thing is quite noticeable, like Essential is running the Master Assassin, so if LCBT Esports did manage to leave the goal lane aside, Radium might have the upper hand in terms of the Master Assassin and the damage, and he might be able to kill Granger with the Mountain Shocker. Even though if he managed to burst down or run out the Purify, the second skill is all there for the Granger to escape. So things might go south, but it all depends on how they are willing to play. But right now, LCBT Esports are looking forward for the top lane.
Oh, that is quite a burst coming on to his Anti. He did not have the flicker available for him. He used it a little bit ago. So now that puts him in a dangerous spot right before the turtle. But then again, you can see Kakarot going in, jumping with the spatial migration, but does not really want to commit the full combo yet because he knows the turtle is up. And Elusivity Esports, they have quite a bit of control around the turtle pit, and they do not want any kind of interference coming out from the side of IQ SATL. And quite a good zone. You can already see the Black Dragon going all by himself. Might be a too much of an overextension here and could get punished very well. And Kakarot will draw a kill for that revenge as for their EXP laner that just got taken down. But then again, the fight is not done yet. You can see Lunox rotating. Asuna wants a piece of the cookie as well. Isabi actually in this game, the IGN changed, but the gameplay isn't. But then again, not finding much, so they have to retreat here.
It all started with the plan LCBT Esports trying to go with the domination, and Yuzhong did a fantastic job, but he was caught off guard, overstepped, because Lunox said hey, they are not going for the engage, they are trying for the disengage, and with the spatial migration, they lock onto it, but they burn 2 of the flickers. So LCBT Esports gaining a momentum or gaining the advantage of the flicker burn might look forward for a mini engage, but look at how pressure IQS12 are literally putting for the side of LCBT Esports. The goal lead still not that big, but still in the hands of LCBT Esports. They get the turtle, but they lost the EXP lane.
Yeah, I mean, losing the EXP lane could be a problem because, Yu Zhong has much more presence into this team fight quite from the early on. The Alice, she does require some of the items. She needs to get a little bit tanky. 1 or 2 items to be very exact to actually be much more relevant into this team fight. Otherwise, she can get bursted down quite easily. So I think for that Alice, it is a little bit a laning phase that she needs to win. But then again, Elusivity Esports, they had to pay the price when they lost their EXP as well. And it's a fair trade at the end of the day, but then again, you need to get more than that. You need to get more advantage from the first 5 minutes of the game. And right now, the goal lead, which you have also mentioned, not too huge, is still intact, that the teams, if they win a team fight, can get shifted again onto the middle. And you can see Rudius being so aggressive against Abhi. He does not have the flicker, but then again, Rudius does not want to overcome it because the turtle is out here, and you can see again IQS2 and they're getting zoned out. They're getting locked inside the RW, and Kakarot cannot even move. He gets taken down. But then again, onto the backlane, Anti comes in and takes down Shenzhou. But then again, Anti all by himself, trying to sustain all the damage, the oncoming damage that is being showered onto him. But he does not get taken down. But then again, without the jungler, I don't think so. IQS12 would be too keen on to contesting this turtle. But then again, you can see Apex still trying to open up the vision, but it's not gonna do much. Elusivity Esports get the turtle number 2.
They get the turtle number 2, but in terms of goal lead, it's still the same. 13 goal lead, and that is basically not the goal lead. 1 minion and you are basically taking away the goal lead. Looking at the optimization, Shin definitely had his hands onto the Hunter Strike, looking forward for that endless battle. But Reggie stands strong.
Oh no, it's gonna be too tight for him. He's still trying to survive with the Dauntless Speed. The stun does not connect, but he's still hold on to his life by using the flicker for the time being.
it's quite generous. Like Baksha already have the radiant armor, while Guinevere is still trying to struggle for that concentrated energy. So it's not there. And goal lead, Baksha is already ahead in terms of jungle goal lead. That kind of proves like Guinevere fall once. And that's the kind of a difference. Like, hey, I don't think so. Baksha has fallen yet. 2-2 is the scoreboard, and Guinevere fall once with a good kill in their hand. It's not looking quite good. And also, Baksha trying to make a move over that. But hey, there's a special migration. Nothing too far.
Nothing too far. They're still just testing the water. They want to commit. They want to show a false start, try to stall the enemy, but then again, I think that's not gonna work against a team like Elusivity, who has equal, if not equal, but a very considerable amount of experience into playing high-stake games. And again, onto the go EXP lane is just gonna be a very tight lane that nobody's gonna win. It's gonna be pretty balanced because I don't think so the damage is gonna be enough for either of them to take down anyone. But then again, their idea is not to fight amongst themselves. Their idea is to just rotate for this neutral objective. And talking about neutral objective, 15 seconds for the next turtle here, Sasuke.
This could be it, with the time over there. IQSHL might look forward for it, but hey, there's a big rotation. The first kill from Baksha has been stopped, so with the expanding rear, they are looking forward for it. There's a special migration onto Yuzhong.
Oh no, he still survives. Good sustain. Does not have to use the Black Dragon form yet. But then again, is it going to be enough? Because you can already see Albi forced to use the Brilliance to just try and survive. Does have the Flicker still, but would the chase come through? Because again, the turtle, the neutral objective is on the stake. But then again, Rudy is getting low on HP. But look at Radiant still trying to zone them out. But again, the Retribution will be worn out by Julius. Kakarot is low and Corey Curie will take him down. That's the jungler down for the second time in a row again now. The next on the chopping block would be up Anti, and he gets taken down too with the final damage coming out from Julius. And now Crisis, he says that I want to be part of the party as well. Picks up another kill, 3 members down, 4 IQ as well. Elusivity Esports get a very decisive win from that third turtle fight.
3 turtles in the bag, but this time, yeah, IQSHL are looking for the responses. They managed to take and defend down the tower, which was in quite trouble. But hey, Elusivity Esports, 1 down, they're looking for the mid. There's a special migration again.
I don't think so he wants to go for that yet, knowing the fact that he does not have enough damage, right? Would be a bad deal, isn't it?
It was kind of a bad deal, but hey, if they overstep or overextended,
Yeah.
what was there to punish it out? But overall, not much enough. Even though the tower from the top and mid are not looking quite healthy. Again, for the blue side, Julius is like looking forward for the steal. I think the ultimate has already been popped, not yet.
I mean, he did get the purple buff. It's taken away from Kakarot, meaning that level below. But then again, RWM used up. The spatial migration will be connecting, but with the damage being enough, not yet. But then again, Anti going in. Abhi will secure a kill, but Anti gets straight up for that. Gold laner getting more kills, not good because it's the Grandeur getting stacks quite easily. But then again, Fortitude is stuck. Radium gets the stun and instantly punishment coming out from IQ as well. They're not here to have fun. They're here to just say that we are not losing this game yet.
Right before the first Lord is about to spawn, Fortitude falls. This kind of a gave IQSHL a kind of the promising thing where they can dominate the Lord Pit area, but it was kind of a fair trade 1-1, but still goal lead again into the hands of Elusivity Esports. And just after Anti died, he got the Oracle, so he'll be sustained quite well. Not that much, but hey, the sustainability is there. But one thing is for sure, the zoning coming in from Elusivity Esports is something they need to look out for. The Yuzhong is always there with the Black Dragon form in all the neutral objective. But if he falls, doesn't matter if they're getting the neutral objective. And for this lot, they need to look out for a way that they could bypass the Yuzhong and get the neutral objective on point.
True, I think, Corey Curie has been causing a lot of problem for the positioning, especially for the backline heroes. But then again, they have to also deal with the Rudies. You can already see RB using the Brilliance just to try and escape. The Lord is still low on HP. But who's going to get the Retribution? It's going to be Radiant taking down a kill. But Julius securing the Lord. But the fight is not yet over. You can see both the teams still going at it up. He will take out down the kill. But Kakarot on the other end will get traded out. But then again, Crisis is not done yet. But instantly gets shut down by Anti, trades after trade, both the teams trying to win it out. But then again, the fight, you just blink and you miss it out. But again, you can see Abhi trying to still run. But then again, the Black Dragon, Corey Cutie says, You can run, you cannot hide from me. He chases him down, takes him down. Anti now. With Radium still trying to survive, Julius is still trying to go in with the shield. He will get the stun, but will the damage be enough? The retribution being used, but no, he cannot chase him any further than that. Anti giving the peel for him to run away, while both the teams are still trying to find some more time for the members to be back up. But then again, IQ vs 12, they have to deal with the pressure of the waves to save their turrets and also deal with the Lord marching from the bot lane here, Sasuke.
Gold lead again into the hands of Felicity T-Sports and with the Lord onto the bottom lane. Felicity T-Sports trying to go and take and grab all the tier 2 towers they can get with the minion pressure, and also with the Lord there. Bottom tier tower, you already decimated, and there's the RWM.
Oh no, Apex just get gunned down this time. The stun connects, but then again the spatial migration along with the violet trickle will not come through. But then again, Nanti, he goes in, he finds a good stun, but no transition coming in, no conversion out of that because the Black Dragon is still out there flying in the sky. There might be no Sora, but the dragon still soars high in the sky, making troubles for IQ SL12 to defend their mid-second tier. It has been taken down, and the holy shields are popping off quite quickly at the 11 minutes and 30-second mark. But then again, a good combo coming out from Kakarot. They will be able to translate. Shenzu gets taken down, but one more punishment. Can it come through? It's gonna be Dauntless Speed connecting very quickly. The Mountain Shocker still doing its work, giving the vision and able to chase them down. Radium with a quick double kill. Christ is still trying to run with the Purify on his head. Anti is still giving the vision, but then again, Cody Cutie is there to peel for him. They did not want to further chase it down. They got whatever advantage they were looking and have reduced the goal lead a little bit to their comfort. So now the game's still undecided here, Sasuke.
Even though it's not a big of a goal lead, but hey, you know, Crisis, they need to look out for it because the Piper is there also with the Sea Halberd and Malefic Rose, so anyone engaging him would be decimated. And right on point, he's been getting a lot of kills, so he's already about to get like 30 to 50 kind of a Skypiercer stack, and that is really a huge amount of damage. Get a Death Sonata onto your head with a 40 to 30% of your health. You are gonna definitely give Crisis a more of the Skypiercer stack. So dealing with him along with the I think it's Senju. It's kind of it's kind of a really hard thing, and also Crisis running with the Purify, but again onto the Lord Pit.
Oh, it looks like Corey Cutie is going to the target, but Kakarot, he gets taken down instant here. And it's going to be a problem without the jungler. It's very difficult, but again, Navi does it. He takes down. Christ is on the other end, but this is a fight. IQ as well, they're looking to win. They will take multiple members down. Apex find one more, and now they're chasing for more. Radium with a double kill. Final member standing is not going to be enough for him to survive, as Julius will be the third one for Radium to take them down. And this is gonna be a success written in name of Radium in that team fight, and for IQ SL12 to get this victory in the Lord fight despite their jungler getting taken down first. A good win and a good conversion out of them.
Once when you thought like, hey, killing down the Kakarot means like we can throw, just go with the Lord. Radius comes from the back. He goes with the back entry kind of a hero thing and gets the triple in his hand, turning the whole tide into the favor. Right when we thought like the 2k gold lead was under the hands of LCT Esports, a triple kill in the hands of Radium turns the whole battle for the side of IQ SL12. 50 to 212 is the scoreboard. Lord into the hands, marching down to the mid lane. Now IQ SL12 are now looking forward to grab or crack down the mid inhibitor. With the damage or the health he has, they might be able to do it. There is the Brilliance Form being used up. It might be in some trouble.
Oh, they might be in trouble, but then again, Rudius, his HP is getting chunked really low, but then again, Crisis! He takes down Abhi, but on the other hand, they have to trade it off, but still, the Lord is not dealt with yet. You can see, Elusive Esports, they are really desperate to run away from the team fight while they have to deal with the Lord as well, but the team fight is not done yet because Radium, he picks up a double, and with this, the member advantage still remains into the side of IQ SL12, as Apex is still trying to zone. Corey Cutie is low on HP, the RWM. How much time can it bring? But then again, Kakarot goes in with the Winter Crown, gets the good stun. Shenzu gets taken down. Radium, he picks up the kill and the game in the name of IQ SL12 as they get the first core in their book. I mean, in the side, man. Pretty good.
They hate you if you don't win enough. They hate you if you win too much. IQ don't care anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
activity, sports crashing back to reality, knowing who they are facing, and Radium going with that, like, hey, Master Assassin, Yi Shin, the thing I talk too much about the Yi Shin goal lane. Food wrong. The dessert was too sweet for the LSPT supposed to, digest it. And Radium rode it right. Kill participation with 79%, damage deal over 57k.
And I think, we just mentioned how the team was struggling a little bit without Radium. And I think this performance, it kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Because with Radium, the teams look much more stronger than they do without him. I'm not trying to, belittle anyone else, but Radium is just that good of a player into the goal lane. And I think he has proved this time and again in multiple tournaments. And give him any kind of hero, he's still able to perform, whether it be the fighter, whether it be the marksman. Whether you give him a marksman that's not even traditionally used into the goal lane, like he's still performing. So that's really something. He knows how to farm in the goal lane. He knows how to get the advantage into the team fight, because he's not afraid to commit some really risky plays sometimes, because he will be going into the front line, which Sasuke, correct me if I'm wrong, most marksmen would not be doing in the early game, do they?
Mhm. That's not the case, but one thing is for sure, like how Radium was able to gain that much of leverage in this game is something like, hey, he was going into the fight when all the resources were used, when the Black Dragon was already used and he was all engaged onto someone else. If not, there were one or two scenarios where the Black Dragon was onto him, but even though he still managed to dash out of that kind of a Yuzhong kill potential and just outplayed him in such a maneuver. But mostly he was the last one to join with the Mountain Shocker and landing and cleaning down as a cleanup job. Like, because most certain people were focusing on to the Kakarot, the spatial migration, or just making sure that Asuna use up the brilliance and they can just prioritize him for the kill.
True. And to be very exact, it's not, which I have also mentioned in beginning of the draft, it's not just one man time to just carry the team. It's not a 1v1 either, right? It's a 5v5. So I think for Radium to be playing this aggressive and this potent is basically the team doing the work, especially for Kakarot, especially for Anti. These members, them going very much to the front line, giving that stuns, or the the leeway for actually this Yi Sun-shin to actually go in and deal the damage is something that needs to be highlighted as well, because it's a team sports at the end of the day, team esports at the end of the day. And what I also want to highlight is that now I think Elusivity Esports, they know whom to mark. In the previous game, the Grandeur was really dealing the damage, but it was on a Purify. It's not too much helpful in escaping in all those dives that you get on your face. I think one of the problem which also Shenzhou faced was that while he is using the RWM, it's very easy to mark. Like, he's just a standing target, and with heroes like the Lunox, with heroes like the Guinevere, you can instantly dive to the backline. If you use a Ruby combo, you can instantly go to the backline, and you deal enough damage to take a squishy target like the Eve. So I think for Elusivity Esports, they should put something different onto a Shenzhou. Yes, the Eve is pretty good in most games, but then again, I think for Shenzhou, he needs to have his own escape capability, because Rudius as well as Cody Cutie, they really like to dive, doesn't it? They like to zone. And while they do that, Shenzhou is completely, unguarded. It's a very easy target for the opponent to mark.
True, but stand for the game number 1 and for the game number 2, I was hoping like they do pan out a Yi Sun-shin or perhaps prioritize it. But if they're going to prioritize it, it could be a huge gamble, like what they would be offering to the IQ SHUL, because Yuzhong is still yet to be banned. And IQ SHUL, I think they will be banning out a Yuzhong or maybe a Uranus. If not, Yuzhong would be a very last option for them onto the XP lane. Azushin sounds really well, unless and until they want to gamble it out, go with like something else. Bakshi is already there for the option, but first pick Bakshia from the side of LOCBT Sports is something which I'm not hoping for to see, unless and until there is nothing left for them to pick that kind of a big hero.
Yeah, I mean, even I mentioned to you that the Bagsi is pretty much one-dimensional. Like, there's not too much of a things or too much, clutch plays that you can do for a player like Julius, who is really high on the micro skill and mechanically gifted. I think he's more suited for heroes that have very good mobility or very good damage potential. You're really restricting him into playing a hero that will not make him show his full potential. That is something I think Elusivity Esports should consider. If they're putting a utility mage plus a utility jungler, it's not going to work too well. You need something to give a little bit more damage who can chase the backline. Because at the end of the day, you're still trying to take down Esunshin or heroes that will be very potent in the backline. So that's something you need to watch out for. You were talking about the Uranus time and again, and I think this time, since it is not banned, Elusivity Esports will be prioritizing it as a first pick onto their side, which I honestly am not too big of a fan, but then again, they might have too much of a comfort on this hero, not want to let it go. Perhaps that is something in the idea, but aren't you letting go of too many of the good heroes that could have come through, especially when the Sora is open, when there is the Kalea that is open? Maybe opt for those.
No, you mentioned about Sora and Kalia. Like, if you go Sora, there's a potential Valentina pick coming in from side of SQ. If you go with the Kalia first pick, then they will instantly lock down to the Gatotkacha. So that doesn't give kind of a leverage. Like, you can also say like this, Uranus could be a flex pick. Like, it could also jump onto the jungle, which is not a viable situation, but it's mostly into a situational pick when he'll go into the jungle area, but most likely he'll always be into the EXP lane. So that is the thing that they could prioritize it, if not for Yuzhong. Yuzhong was also open for the trap, and which is also one of the good heroes if you're really looking for the backline kind of a comp. But with this Uranus, I'm thinking that looking forward with the initiating kind of a comp, which Uranus really works well, because he's the one who will be providing all the vision in mainly the team fights or something like that. So he will really work well. And you're talking about like hey, Eve is really good, but you need the damage dealing source. So I think this time they're going with a carry. So inside of RWM, there will be a carry. If anyone tries to come for the backline, carry will be there to melt it down. But the two picks coming in from IPSHUL is really quite impressive. Apaxia with an Esmeralda for the counter of Uranus pick.
I do get the idea that you can use the carry inside the RWM, but then again, there are a lot of heroes that can deal damage outside the RWM. Like, take for example the Farsa, right? And now if they want, they can go for the Yuzhong, but if they take the Farsa and ban the Yuzhong, then the option will be out of the table. You can go for a Lapu Lapu that I don't think so will be, again, very good to go for, because there's a Esmeralda waiting on the other side. But instead they pick up the Claude. We did not see the Claude in the first game despite it being open. Neither of the team, they actually picked it up. So this time the Claude against the carry. I still think the Claude does get a little bit of advantage, but since the fighter emblem has been a little bit updated, a little bit buffed, a little bit changed, even the carry is one of those heroes that can use the fighter emblem to his advantage. It can equip the fighter emblem, he can go for the Festival of Blood, can get a very good region, which the Claude does at the same time. And with the DHs, getting buffed in the past patch, I think carry with the Trinity build does the work same, but the only downside is that you do not get that longer extended range until and unless you bring the Malefic gun, but still not as big as the most other marksmen's grandeur, for example, right? So that's something, but a little bit diverse required. I think the Claude does the work for marking the Eve here.
That's that. And also, a Claude against a carry is kind of a thing, but you do the maximum kind of a damage from the Blazing Duet if you have the fire stacks of his passive, and pair it up with the Winter Crown. So that's there. You don't need to survive all the speedy light wheels from the ultimate of the carry. So that is also there. And also, I think the kind of a play Radio makes is like he'll be the last one to initiate, or he'll be the last one, or he'll just dive when he'll know like, hey, the resources are all spent onto the frontliners or to the rest of the heroes. But something which we need to take care of is about this Kadita. Like, hey, you can also possibly see that she can also reach the back line, even inside the RWM. and you can just use rough waves to melt down the backline, especially the RWM. So how our LCVT esport is going to counter them? So will they go with more kind of a crowd control in the Roma section, or perhaps a different approach to just block the all and initiators coming in from the IQS at UL? So two kind of heroes which are on to my mind. Okay, they are going with a Franco. Now that is unfortunate because I was hoping for a Minotaur, because you can come in, but there is a Minonian Fury. It's not that good, but also it is kind of an okayish kind of a thing.
But then again, IQS12, they have their own ways of drafting as well. Suppression for suppression. That's the answer for their side. And I think the Franco is a little bit more like it has the hook which can give him the advantage, can get a little bit more pick off. For the Kaja, you have to be camping around the map, and this is a flying cloud map that we will be playing in, that the teams will be playing in actually. So quick rotation when you be part of the team fight, so you can go back to your lane, so you can rotate a lot more. That can be one of the advantage. But even if we talk in terms of spell against the Kaja, the Purify is not going to do much. So I think it's just to get safe from the Kadita here, that is carry equipping this Purify for Eve. No Purify, so is she not really afraid of the Kadita here, Sasuke?
I mean, she knows, like, even if she equips the Purifier, she's just gonna be melt down because there is an Esmeralda, so you need to reposition yourself after the RWM if you getting caught. So that could be the mindset behind not using the Purifier, because after the RWM you need to go into the better spot, because not everyone is gonna protect yourself. And in terms of protection, while I was saying like you need to wait, or you need some kind of a hero which can stop the engages coming in from the enemy side, they go with a top class suppression coming in from Franco, but it is a single target. And also, this kind of a draft coming in from LCVT Esports, it all revolves around Eve. So they are going to play this game with the in near side of real world manipulation, with the carry as the main damage dealing aspect, and Eve as the zoning potential.
Absolutely. I hope it goes how they plan, because game number 2 is rolling, ladies and gentlemen. We once again welcome you back into the land of Dawn. So the best of 7 competition, the streak has to be going on. It's either gonna be one of these teams winning it out, but I don't think so. We might just see a one-sided fight once again, because both the teams were quite close in the previous game. This time it could be a different one. So let's see how it goes. But then again, Elizabeth Esports, they are behind a point. IQS well, they scored the first game, but Hope connects onto the mid lane on against Abhi, but he's able to dash out quite quickly. But then again, Julius is low on HP. This time it's going to be an Uranus jungle. Yesterday we saw Raden using it, so I think that might be the inspiration, but it's not just him that has used this hero. But then again, Uranus jungle is quite interesting, isn't it, Sasuke?
It is interesting. Now it all depends on like how are they going to win the objective kind of situation. The Baksha against the Uranus, neither of them do have a skill which could prioritize retribution battle. I think Baksha's the continuous damage coming in from his ultimate, and also the poke damage coming in from the skill 2 gives a better leverage than a Uranus in terms of retri battle. But they I think into the later phases of the game, they will be just looking forward for the goal laners to deal a massive chunk of the damage. But the early aggression coming in.
Yeah, with the early aggression coming in, it's going to be very difficult for Julius to get that level 4. That jungle creep is taken away. The hook does connect, but it cannot give the burst damage yet. No burst damage available. But look at the HP for Kakarot, really dropping low. The Baxia might not survive this one. He gets first blood. Shenzu with the first kill here. But then again, Apex really sustaining all that with his passive and the heal of that first kill. And all this while, the first turtle has spawned, but still the fight is not over. Whether it be the top lane, whether it be the bot lane, the teams are still on about it. Anti getting his HP chunked down a little bit, but the shield will regen it back. But the turtle, neither of the team yet dared to pick it up. They're just still waiting for this dance to just begun.
I sense a bad thing about a glue, because they can't really go, or the glue can't really be a good option, but they have a Kaja for answering down a glue. And this could be a very lethal. Imagine you use down the ultimate and grab onto something. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we have to talk about that later because Kakarot will get the turtle, but however, Shenzhou will lock Apex inside the RWM and he picks up a double. Anti gets taken down, but again, Corey Cutie is low on HP. There's no running for this glue, but then again, the bloody Hunt will connect onto his Kakarot. He's still trying to survive, but okay, he holds on to his dear life while Kakarot has to fall. The turtle came at a hefty price, 3 kills for it, but then again, Obi, can he get that kill? Not yet, close enough, but not a success. Still survives, still holds on onto his dear life that I've been mentioning. So, was it worth it?
It was kind of a thing because they're trying to go with the kind of a brawl. It doesn't gives that much of sense because they have the backshot. They're looking forward for like, hey, we can melt down the Urans, we can go and grab the early control, we'll be in the driving seat, but it all went down. They do get the turtle, but the goal it is still under the hands of Elusivity Esports, even though that is a chunk of 600 gold. But right now they're looking for some scraps they could pick up into the mid or near the enemy blue buff.
I mean, at this point, they have to pick up whatever the leftovers are on the map, and if they could have picked up that kill, some gold would have gotten back into the side of IQSA2L. So this small lead, despite not being too huge, not too astronomical, can still give a little bit of advantage. Talking about items, is there anything that catches your eyes here, Sasuke?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Carry looking forward for the Corrosion side to grab and deal and dish out a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Franco over here looking forward for perhaps he's looking forward for that Winter Crown.
Yeah, I guess so, right? That's a build for Winter Crown for sure. Yeah, you're right about that.
Not sure. Is it for the Winter Crown or the Fleeting Time? Because the items are kind of a similar thing.
Same.
But right?
I think. Oh wait! Alice, wait! Shenzhou just gets shut down, but the kill went on to his Kakarot. So that's a good shutdown. Getting Abhi doing God's work right before the second turtle, while Anti is still trying to zone them out. The Bloody Hunt used, but not enough burst damage to take down Anti. The Esmeralda still trying to run away and regen his HP back with the Retribution though. Kakarot, he wins it out. But then again, they are looking for a fight without their mid laner. This might be bad off a decision making that they're going for. Radiant comes in with the blazing duet. The RWM finally drawn down, but it's a bit too late to take anybody down from IQS at all, is it not? Because it looks like Anti's HP is getting low, the glue is going in, but can he find a kill? Is low as well, but no! Anti takes Corey Cutie down. The fight still remains in the favor of IQS at 2L. As Elusivity, they have to just settle for that, but then again you can see Crisis really being aggressive. He's going all by himself. The Ruff is back from H. Cool down here. He takes Crisis down. That's the price you pay for being too aggressive. You need to hold your horses just for the right time.
A fight for seen for too long. It started with the turtle, second turtle on the Lord, which IQSHUL do manage to grab it, and after that, the prolonged fight, IQSHUL always on the lead with the momentum they have and with the burst, the potential, not the burst potential, but the tanky damage dealing aspect coming in from Baksha was always there, and they were able to dish out. The crowd control or the zoning option from Senzu was there when he respawned back, but the damage aspect was still lacking because Carrie was not online or not onto the power spike. She needs an item more to deal or reach to the power spike. So Elusivity Esports, they need to look out for a bit safe. Give the farm to their more damage dealing aspects to the right cards so that they could reach to the power spike and they could turn the tides into their favor again, because the Lord will be spawning soon.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be the Lord soon, but before that, I think we have to just wait for one more turtle here, so that has to get dealt with. But then again, both the teams, they are ready there. They know that this is gonna come, but Shenzhou forced to pick her out just like that, just from that shield unity of Kakarot. And then again, Corey Q is still trying to stop Abhi, but Abhi misses his petrify. There will be the leap on towards him, but it's not going to be working because the rough wave will reset that, mount from glue. But then again, onto the back end. Is it a good decision for him to zone all by himself? But it's bringing enough time for IQ to do a jungler to take down this turtle, and he will take the opportunity and get that retribution spot on. But they are looking for more. The turtle is not enough, but then again, you have to remember you do not have the rough base radius. It's a bit far. So this is a fight that is that is something that you should just avoid. But then again, you get the advantage with the turret tier 1 up in the top lane. So this is a W win for IQS12 from the third turtle fight.
That's there, but again, Andy managed to get it something, but Rafael's get someone.
Oh, it's gonna be catching one, but then again, you can see the damage is not being enough because the HP bars are just too high. But then again, the knockup onto his Rudius is not gonna be doing much because there's no follow-up from that. But then again, you see the damage still lacking. I think the gold laners still need a little bit more time, isn't it, Sasuke?
Well, it is for the crisis, but for side of Radium, he's doing pretty fine. He managed to chunk out a
Yeah.
massive piece of gold for himself, and he's doing really fine. And for the side of LCBT Esports, they need to look out for the damage dealing aspect, and Carrie is the one. If she leaves the lane and focus on the fight, Radium to have the perfect opportunity for the farm. But again, look at the bottom side. That was a beautiful rough phase, but the damage was not enough to melt down Rudius. He flickers it out of the way, making that was a big thing to burn out the resources of flicker out of a way. But hey, the hook is always there, and the team LSVT sports, the members of it, they are looking forward for the hook. Like once a member is caught, especially a high value target inside a turret, it would be a bad decision for it. But hey, that's the demon hunter sword being
Yeah.
equipped by the carry, so only the golden stuff is remaining. But hey, she's already there, she'll be able to deal a damage. But for the side of Esmeralda, she's already been kitted up with a physical defense item. So besides Esmeralda and besides Baksha, she'll be able to deal damage. But Blue needs to be the one to bring out one of those targets right into the hands of LCT Esports, because Franco cannot go ahead because he's the one who is roaming around to the backliners trying to be the protector, and also the Uranus is just trying to be the nuisance, is trying to provide the vision along with the clue.
Yeah, I mean, I think the vision will be also important, but then again, you need to be a bit more playmaker, being the EXP laner. You cannot be mounting on towards the Claude, on towards the Karita, because that's not gonna give too much of a value. But then again, you should not be wasting your ultimate. The Lord dance going on, but what's important is this two roamer for both these teams. Their ultimates, their skills are gonna be very important. Though these hooks are very chance based, but so far Rudius has not been able to do much. But the Bloody Hunt already used. You can see the flicker being baited out from Apex, but the Lord meanwhile will be secured by Kakarot. Then again onto the backlane, there is Radium dealing damage. Julius, he falls. There is the suppression coming out from the Kaja, and that will be enough to take one more member down. They punish down Rudius, and with this, two of the tanky members of Elusivity Esports have been taken down. This gives enough opportunity for IQS to target down the turrets. They take down the mid tier 1, which gives the access towards the buffs. And now they're looking to easily take down the tier 2 as well. The Holy Defense will pop off anytime soon, while the Lord is not even have spawned into the Land of Dawn. I mean, that spawn, my bad, is marching from the top lane, but has not reached the base yet.
And that's the mid shield down, and they're looking forward for the bottom shield again, and that would be done. And that's it. With the Lord, they will also be looking forward for the top tier 2, which is the Lord is going to take care of. But also the shield, it might be not able to stay intact, and I think this could be the scenario where SATUL can go with it. Oh.
Another divine judgment, but then again a good hook! Rudius, he gets the one they were looking for! Radium, he falls and the Lord gets cleared. Elusivity Esports, this is the chance that they can convert from. That one target, that one chance that they needed. Rudius, he made it happen!
Look, he manifested all the luck he had into this one hook and trying to go for the perfect members. He falls. We can see the itemization. A quick look. Trinity build already there onto the Claude, and also for the carry. Looking forward for that Malefic gun for the next item. But look at the itemization of the Franco. He's so invested into the support kind of utility kind of a truck. Like, hey, I will hook and I will use the bloody hunt onto the one of the main or the incoming targets or whoever comes or initiates to the back line, and I'll use that when the winter crown.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when you can just figure things out at the right time, but then again, when you get hooked without a purifier, you cannot get out of that. Even if you are radium, your fingers might not be quick, because sometimes you just miss the timing. It just happens. So, but then again, this is a little bit at a time when there is no lord, there is no chance for a comeback yet from elusivity, except for the fact that they can get some more resources around the map, especially the goal on towards their damage dealer. So that's something they're really working on towards, and I hope they can do it before the Lord, because previous Lord, they got quite zoned out, and even before they could actually, go for a proper contest, the Lord got taken away by Kakarot, who AK is also known as, of course, I forgot the name. What was it again? Remind me, Sasuke? Goldfish memory. Joseph, yes, Joseph, my bad. Joseph, yes, guys, he's not an import, he's our very own Joseph. But then again, you can see this is a rivalry from both the last members. But then again, the glue is mounted. But Shenzio, on the other hand, gets taken down. But Corey Cutie, he takes down Apex. But can he run? Will be a question, because he's getting jumped onto as two members, and the damage, though not just extremely much, but still enough. The glue still trying to run, but no, as he says, you cannot run away from me. I will take it down. But this is happening at the right time. No retribution available for Elusivity Jungler. And now IQS12, they will take full advantage of this Lord, control it, and take it for themselves, which will be marching in from the top lane most likely. But another free Lord. This is looking too difficult to defend here for Elusivity Esports, Sasuke.
Well, they can actually defend it, because with the RWM, with the speedy light wheels, they can actually do that. But the initiators and the engage coming in from IQSHUL is really something. Whenever you see RWM, Esmeralda's Falling Star Moon is on point blank to the EU. And even if Franco is there, he's not able to use the bloody hand, because there is someone else who takes the bloody hunt onto him, giving the Esmeralda a full push or full clean leverage to use the Falling Star Moon and deal a huge damage. So the EU is forced to cancel out and runs towards his life. And with that kind of a thing, then EU needs to play it very, very safe, because she's the one which the all team can play around. Lord already marched towards the bottom lane, already reached there. This might
Oh
be
no! Divine Judgment, and even before he can say ouch, he gets dissipated out there by the damage of IQS12. No more jungler, but oh wait, Obi! He goes to the backline, but then Radium jumps in as well. A good zone, takes down one more member, enough to zone Elusivity Esports, and for IQS12 to strike again to get game number 2 in their name. And that's going to be 2-0 in this best of 7 so far. 2 decisive wins for IQS12. That's something, right?
That's something. And they had a clear picture in their mind, like, hey, we should revolve around EU, but that didn't go so well, because they knew out Esmeralda, and they ITS they planned it, or they saw it through it, like, hey, they really want to go and play against him, so let it be. We'll go with the kind of a diving comp, and we'll punish the EU so bad that the whole thing that's they build up is gonna crumble apart. And you can see Abi again is the MVP. I believe he was the MVP in the game number 1. So sorry, it was SHUL Radium, but this time it's SHUL Abi. The rough, especially the last one. 3 members knocked out with the rough waves. He deal quite the damage, making sure Radium was there, or perhaps not Radium. Even Kakarot was there for the cleanup job.
Yeah. I think Kakarot, aka Joseph, even though he was on a Bahaxia, but he was able to be the front line. He was able to, get the vision control quite well. Because the Kaja, if he had gone in front, then it could have been a problem. But the timing of going in and out by the damage dealer of IQS is really elite. Because they know when to actually, get the maximum advantage while not getting punished at the same time. So that's why you do not want to give, comfort heroes towards Radium. Do not want to give the comfort heroes towards Abi, because these players, these two heroes, these two members of the team IQS12, they're really the playmakers. Sometimes they can take things on their own hand and do, and perform really miraculous clutch plays. And we just saw a tiny glimpse of that in that last team fight as well. But then again, Elusivity Esports, they have seen this for a long while, and I hope even though they had made some mistakes, I will still say that give Julius some assassins. Why are you still restricting him? Why are you forcing him to play the tank, hyper, or utility jungler in this, for him to just get restricted to the things that he can actually do? I still do not get the, depth of it. But it's not working. It's clearly not working for him. He's 4-0 and 0-4 and 5. That's not the KD you want to see onto your jungler, do you, Sasuke?
That's not the point. Like, they had a clear picture, and if it works out, it is more like of a high level play which you need to look out for. But there was always a panic, or there was always a fear in the mind of Senzu, like, hey, if I pop the RWM in a wrong place, am I gonna get punished? Because the position of the Kadita was a big threat. Like, you never know where from where the Kadita is gonna come, and she basically walks and just go into the water and knocks you up, and with the rough waves, your ulti a history.
I mean, I get the fact that you're picking up a Eve while there's a threat of the Kadita, so you have to expect that. And time and again, we have seen, even if the Kadita is not present in the map, the Eve has been the constant person getting marked, right? In the last game as well, with the Lunox, with the Guinevere too, he was getting instantly jumped on, and there's nothing much he can do. He cannot move from the RW man. He has to keep it on for the duration, at least for the time being, where where his teammates are fighting. So he needs to provide that slowdown, that damage, the continuous DPS that the team is looking for. But then that's the thing. You're getting very one-dimensional with your heroes, and that is not the playstyle for Elusivity Esports. Time and again, they are very unexpected. You do not expect them to play such games or such heroes, such kind of plays. That is their playstyle. So it's going to be very different for them. But then again, we are really rushing towards the third match here. We were going to have a switch for the talents as well, but I think it has to wait for a little bit, maybe, because while we are at the draft, I'll just I think we can throw it on towards the next talent in between the game while the game begins here. So for now here though, the band's still not really changing for either of the teams. So what is the big idea here, Sasuke? What do you think? Like, are they going for the same strategy again?
They could probably, but the fact that both the teams have prioritized the Bakshia, so if Velocity Sports, they could just right now, they have the big opportunity to ban out the Sunshin. But if they do, there's a Sunshin open. And what if they leave both of them, give SHUL the Yi Sunshin and grab a Sushin for themselves? That could be the case, but it all goes for them, because SHUL, they can also, just throw the Yi Sunshin into the goal lane, but okay, that's just too much of theory from me. They're just gonna have a straight ban with the Zushin. It's not gonna go there. Baksha is still open, but IQSHUL, they'll be prioritizing the Sunshin for the grabs. If not, there are plenty of other heroes. Yuzhong is still open, might go for Sora, but there is also a counter pick. So Sunshin just gives a lot of safe pick. If not, they can also and always go over the Kadita. Essentially, it is. For the side of Illustrated Sports, Uranus is still available, but only in terms of EXP lane, and they can prioritize the Baksha this time for themselves. If not, for this time, they can prioritize Julius over to the Assassins. Just as you mentioned, if he's not quite comfortable with the utility heroes, you can just go with the Assassin. Suyo is onto my mind. If not, they can prioritize the Grok is banned, the Kalia or something like that, but you're gonna give one of the options to the enemy team. So right now, Yuzhong or maybe Suyo or Yuzhong or Bakshia or Uranus or Esmeralda is there, so you can also prioritize it.
Yeah, I mean, they're still keeping the picks quite steeple. The Lapu Lapu is in this time instead of the Yuzhong. Still works, but then again, the threat of the Esmeralda will be constantly there from the other end, because both Radium as well as Anti are very good users of Esmeralda. We saw it in the previous game as well, where Anti played that hero. Is that too that even Radium can play that pretty well. So they are avoiding giving this Baxia to the side of IQSHL. That's a very good idea, but then again, we know the flex potential for the Isunshin from the first game too, and you have mentioned that they can be very creative with their draft. They can really, just change the heroes to a different position and it works still for them because of the synergy that these players have amongst themselves. Though with the new addition of Kakarot, that is Joseph, things should have looked different, but then again, it's not yet. And as you can see, two of the magic damage heroes in different position, of course, have been locked in, the Zishian and the Guinevere. So are we still looking at a Guinevere jungle here?
It's a potential thing, but also it can also go with the rogue, but I don't think so. If they should go with the rogue unless and until they are going with the utility jungle, because in terms of frontliner, in terms of bush checking, they need something. Guinevere is that. If they want to go with Guinevere rogue and put some Yi Sunshin as a jungle, then they need anti or 24/7 for major team fights or utility side of a ties, utility turtle fights. Even if the neutral objective is onto the far lane. Right now, moving on to the second phase of the ban. Before that, Farsha is the mage. This time, luckily, they don't want to go with with that two kind of a things. But again, there is this Guinevere, which is always going to jump over you. And if you're Farsha, so maybe Farsha with a Purify could go. But again, it all depends on whether or not you are in a safe position right now. And but the things of it, you see a Guinevere, it's really confusing whether it's going to be a jungle, whether it's going to be a roam, whether Yi Sunshin is going to be a gold, whether it's going to be a jungle. Call of Duty Sports, they can go with the EXP ban, which they're confirmed, like, hey, neither of the heroes are EXP, so we can just cut down all the EXP heroes. Esmeralda is there, might be Uranus, which could be popped off next from the side of LSVT Esports, IQSHUL banning out the Claude. So perhaps this gives us the kind of a thing, like they are looking forward to something tanky, something sustainable, which pairs up with Lapu Lapu.
True, but one more thing that I want to mention would be the thing is the ulti from the Zishin, the Fury of the Phoenix, can cancel the Feather Airstrike too. So that's something this Farsa needs to watch out for. And another factor that this Zushin adds alongside the not Lapu Lapu, but the Eastern Shin, is the double map vision. So the map vision during these neutral objectives, and not only the map vision, the Eastern Shin gets a movement boost all for himself, but then again, the Zishin, she not only stuns the opponent, but she also gives mobility towards a teammate, right? Along with the vision. So a lot of utility on that hero. So that's something I think that can work really in their favor. But then again, you were mentioning about the Uranus ban, which did not come through. They went for a not a Joy, that is right, another roamer getting banned, that is going to be the Khalid. So while all that is going on, the glue will be again the option, which in my honest opinion did not give the worth in the last game, the big worth that was supposed to be there for Elusivity Esports. It was annoying for sure, but not the worth yet.
Okay, so the draft is there. It's kind of a hard. CC is the XP, Guinevere is jungle, so you push the Yi Sunshin all the way to the gold lane. And Elusivity Esports, since Claude is there, carry is one of the suitable option, but do they need a gold laner? It's going to be Harith. So is Glue a roamer in this kind of a draft, or
Rome,
I think that's the only place where you will be able to put him. Harith against Yi Sunshin, pass good, and also there is no Esmeralda, so it all depends on Harith how well he's able to sustain or how well he's able to farm. And I like the kind of a draft with LCT Sports did manage to go this time, but Rudius is onto the glue, so he'll be kind of a nuisance in you. He'll always be onto the backline trying to be the nuisance, and the whole team can revolve around the Makshias and also the Lapu Lapu. So it's really good right now.
Absolutely, I think that's something we need to let the new set of talents to discuss among themselves while we take a little bit off for now. So let's let Ray and Debbie take over and just break down what is happening for game number 3. 2-0 is the score so far, ladies and gentlemen. So do root for your favorite teams, and Debbie and Ray, please take it over.
Thank you so much, Shinryu, and of course Sasuke, for taking a really great analytics for the first 2 games between IQ, SATUL, and Elusivity Esports in this Gyan Tech finale. And of course, right now we'll be heading towards the 3rd game possible deciding factor, because after all, if they get the third game as well, it might just be a clean sweep. But we'll obviously soon find it out as we will dive into the land of Dawn. And of course, myself, Ray, and I'm going to be joined by, of course, a great analyst herself. So Debbie, welcome to the casting desk with me, and let's just see if from the past games anything will change, or IQ SATL will pick up a third win.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for, Ray. So looking at the emblems so far, nothing too out of the ordinary. But one thing I do notice is that they changed up onto the Vasya pick, right? Because onto the second game, it was into the hands of Kakarot. And this time, Julius is the one going to be picking it out, right? But mid lane, though, that's a lot of pressure already built up by Apex here, as well as Rudius too. This is what you get, right? When you have a roam glue. Even though there are some people who don't like the roam glue, but I personally like it because it can have a good rotation, a good clearance, and you cannot die really early on.
Yeah, and also the fact that you have Patrick as your roamer, so it's pretty funny. I mean, but yeah, we'll just skip that for now. But obviously the classic rotations have been made. Nothing out of the ordinary just yet. You know, in the early game, they try to poke in and try to pressure the mid lane, but considering both of these mages can't really escape indeed for early game, they just decided to play a little bit of a bad game. So I think the first engage will most likely see it on the turtle itself, which is still 40 seconds away. What do you think about the Yishin Shin and Harith 1 versus 1 though? Like, that's an interesting approach they went for.
Yeah, this is something that we have never seen combined together into the lane, but I'm pretty sure that the Harith could be having a better time. But top lane though, look at that.
Okay, top lane. Looks like they wanted to go for an engage. There's a lot of good amount of damage, and here comes a knock-up, and might be getting the first blood. SATL Anti picks it up for his team. Gives them a little bit of a lead, but mid lane, Rudius might be in a little bit of a trouble. Or is it gonna be a full-on 180? He's trying to get the kill. Is it gonna be enough? Oh, I don't think so. Kakarot takes the kill instead. And with this, SATL is 2 for 0.
Yeah, it could have been a little hectic for the side of elusivity. It could have been avoided, right? But you cannot really want to focus onto the rumor into the early stage of the game, even though you are unable to take it down. But look at that, Julius though.
Hey, Julius goes in for an engage. Here comes a feathered airstrike to defend, but it's not going to be happening. Not Julius will get taken down. The team fight still popping up. Here comes Patrick, tries to dish out some damage, and Kakarot does successfully get taken down by Lapu. They do get one trade, but it was overall 1 for 1. SATL is still ahead.
Yeah, they are still going to be ahead here because Julius this time around, I think it could have been a little bit too much for him to try to go for the contest into the turtle when he's actually behind onto the levels, especially against this lineup that SHL has already brought onto the table. It's not going to be in favor for their side. And I understand the situation where you don't want to lose out onto your level, but you cannot really die because even though Baksha is a very, very tanky hero, the early stages of the game is where he's going to be falling short, and he needs the help of the mid laners to try to set up for the turtle, and not going himself could have been much of a better choice here. But I think they did pretty well though, because they did trade around to the jungle. Mid lane though, something's on.
And the mid lane will fall from the side of IQ SATL. Elusivity Sports is just trying to kick back as much as possible, trying to get the smaller trades and just trying to catch up slowly. And considering the goal lead is not that much different, it's just 200 gold in the early game, they can obviously equalize it pretty soon. And I think the next turtle, 40-second mark. Last time 40-second was where we got the first kill. Maybe we might see another engage. Both of the roamers are level 4, and they are both more of a damage dealing rather than a CC one. It looks like I was right. Look at that. Julius wants to go in for an engage. Here comes the gravity migration, but decide to just go back for now. Or is it? No, they do back off.
Okay. You know, the thing about this game is that it's actually quite funny because the top lane is what they want to focus on more so than ever, because they do understand that when you win out the objective, like for the Baksha and the Guinevere, the turtle is definitely going to be one of the most important factor. And if you want to win out on the turtle, you might want to win out onto the lane as well. But look at it though, it's going to be a bit of a vision provided with the G10's ultimate here. The Fury of the Phoenix already been burned down. It's like 50+ seconds, right? But look at Senju. I think he was onto something here onto the bottom lane, but look at that.
Top lane unnoticed. Cody Cutie gets picked off right away, and since they don't have the fighter anymore, looks like it's going to be a little bit of a ghost matchup, and it was not Julius actually gets a turtle, but might be at the cost of getting their Patrick down. And yes, the Patrick will fall. Rudius gets taken down in that engage, and they lose 2 for the price of 1 turtle soup. Is that worth it? I think it might be. They do get a little bit of gold. Look at that crisis, as well as their Senju is able to get their first priority items, but they lose 2 bodies at the process.
They did, but I feel like that could have been a fight they were willing to trade it out with, because top lane again.
Top lane, and Corey Cutie is not having a good time around. Mid lane also a lot of pressure. Looks like the Zetian might be facing the same fate, but no, actually survives at the flicker of 1 HP and will be able to retreat. Corey Cutie and Zetian, both of them gotta watch out in their respective lanes because the other is pressuring them too much.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it's kind of amazing to say that the Lapu Lapu have been set down into the start of the game since the start of the game, and he has been losing out onto the turret already here. But there might be spatial migration. Okay.
Okay, yes, indeed there was, because the spatial migration is gonna be enough for Julius to get taken down. The damage of HP percentage coming in from CC. I think Julius is kind of underestimating that whenever he's diving in.
Yeah, he got the Radiant Armor as the first build here because it's kind of necessary, right? Because there's a lot of magic damage that he have to be focusing on as well. And the fact that Apex also know that he will be the one who will deal most of the damage into the Buckshot. Here he was the one actually trying to go in most of the time, and it just give out a bit of a reason here and there. But for the airstrike, look at that.
Predator Strike as well as the Zacian coming in with the ultimate, but Kakarot will fall down. Of course, in midst of 4 people, surviving like that is just a 0 to none possibilities. And right now, since they don't have the jungler anymore, it should be a clear freeze turtle for themselves. But I think they should try to just prioritize on the opposite lane. But looks like they're still...
I think... Yeah, they're still trying to go for the turtle here because it's definitely going to be important for them, and I think they can be able to burst it out too here. There we go.
Okay, they get a turtle, and right now they are going to be going for a possible re-engage over here. And he trying to buy out some time, and EVT this time around having the control of the turtle pit, and they were able to successfully take it. And looks like Kakarot again, he just respawned and gets taken down. Immediately Senju falls in as well in retaliation from the side of none other than Apex. And right now he has to retreat, but the damage is coming in from both of the sources. But obviously the Harith is much more stronger compared to the Yishin Shin in those team fights.
Yeah, I think that could have been so much worse for the side of elusivity, but here again they did lose out to Shenju, who has been the main damage dealer here so far, because we haven't seen Crisis being popping off, right? Because the Demand Force is definitely going to be necessary here time and time again, but he's going to be needing out at least a penetration item too, and he's actually very far from it, so they are kind of waiting for him. So this time around, I feel like elusivity should focus on trying to protect where Senju is going to be, because there's always going to be the Fury of the Phoenix trying to cancel out onto the Feather Airstrike most of the time, and he is not on the Flicker, he is on the Purify as well, which made him so more vulnerable onto the hands of Apex too. So his position has to be exceptional, and then he's always going to have to be staying behind, and they should hold out for as long as possible because the Harith is going to be their winning condition here. But for the mid lane here this time around, Senju, he should be the one they prioritize in protecting.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that Senju basically has to really watch out for the fact that he needs to have that flying feathers at ready, like you mentioned, because since he has a Purify, no escape skill, and that does have I think 15 to 20 second cooldown, so you have to be mindful. The moment you use it, you better watch out your positioning for the next few seconds until it's on refresh. But for now at least, looks like both of the teams are just trying to go for a little bit of a macro play here, just get the turret, and yes, Radium on top is able to get one for himself. The score is 8-4 with a goal lead of 600 only. But here comes the Lord, and Radiant Armor picked up. Feathered Airstrike coming in, and looks like immediately Radium gets taken down unexpected. And I think he was not expecting to be taken down in his own jungle territory. On the other side, here comes Kakarot with trying to perhaps use a diversion to get the Lord. Is it a close retribution? No, he is the one taking it. It's right under the nose of Julius, but Crisis will take down Anti and gets a shutdown. But losing that Lord might give away the Lord advantage. Oh, was that a flicker play coming in from Rudius?
Okay.
But he doesn't really land in the ultimate just yet. Peter coming in into the mid lane as well. They're trying to take down the third, but there's no minions. They're a little bit too deep, and it might just get taken down. And yes, he does. And Koriguri, it's time to retreat. And slowly the Zacian's Fury of the Phoenix showing up as well. Yishin wants to join the team fight, wants to take down the targets, and they're going in back and forth, trying to position themselves because the Harriet has them on force. He can go in for the damage, and yes, he does. Abi gets taken down, but he does take down Julius as well. The team fight still going in non-stop. Korikuri retreats with the bravest fighter. Kakarot wants to go in, but of course, that was just a distraction. He goes back, and that was an extended team fight, but it was enough for the Lord to knock down on that bottom lane in a turret.
Yeah, I feel like, Seoul did take on to those fights intentionally because they want to be they want them to be distracted from the lore as well. But Apex are trying to give out a little bit of a reason here. A good clearance coming through from the side of Senju, but not enough to protect onto the mid lane side here. They should focus on clearing out the lord here first because they don't want to pop out onto their holy blessing that early on because it's going to be nearing now the 12th minute of the game, so that's definitely going to be easy one too. But onto the other side now, we can see that it's going to be a bit of a 2k goal lead for the side of SHUL, and they have the damages in. Radium also looking good, but never mind. Look at the mount.
Top lane already mounting on top of Apex, and Apex is gonna get taken down by none other than Crisis, who has been farming up, and right now he's on the killing spree. If I'm not mistaken, he has 2 shutdowns. And look at that. Basically done with the triple combo of the Holy Crystal, Feather of Heaven, and the Sight. And right now, it's where the danger is going to spell. And the fact if Radium can basically equalize it, because of course it's a late game now. It depends on the goal laners.
That's what we're talking about, and I feel like this triple item is the Trinity for a magic version, right? But look at the
here comes the knockup in the mid lane, and Zacian with the Fury of the Phoenix perfectly timing, stunning all the side of EVT, but it wasn't enough, and Crisis gets another kill under his belt, only farming up and snowballing, and it's not looking good, and the score is now equal. But it's pretty clear that EVT is doing a much better having their goal laner, but at the same time the goal lead is still into the hands of IQ SA2. It looks like they're going to be favoring for that mid lane turret, might be able to get it, and Kakarot does not look like in a good position. He's already used his dash. Here comes the Winter Crown, but it's just trying to save him, and he actually does flicker play from Korikuri. Is not going to be catching up, and then that I think is the first time I've seen a Winter Crown actually saving someone.
Yeah, it's kind of a hassle, right? Because when you use out the Winter Crown, it kind of stopped it out, and then you have to fumble just a little bit to try to survive. But that was actually a pretty amazing gameplay coming through from the side of SHUL here. But I think now it's going to be a perfect timing for them here. The lore is already upped, but the fact that Crisis already have a lot of damage onto his kit, 402 is the score for him, and the goalie is into the hands of SHUL though. So I think Elusivity, if they play their cards right and have a good joining potential for him, and Crisis have a good free hitting onto the demand first, I think they will be able to fight this lord this time around.
Apex is so deep inside enemy territory, gets mounted by the Patrick, and most likely gonna get taken out. But at the same time, the Gravitail Migration comes in and takes down Korikuri, and with this, both of them have lost 1-for-1 roamer for EXP later. But it's pretty clear that EVT is the one kind of on the lead, in charge of the map. But at the same time, Radium, what is that positioning? Wants to go in for a flank, but not possibly good. Tries to retreat with the dash, but it might not just be enough, and it was not. Benju takes him down. A questionable position right there, Debbie.
Definitely. It's like a position. Oh, never mind. NT though?
Oh, NT, I'm not sure what he was trying to do. Like SHUL finding themselves in compromising positions in midst of EVT. Back to back.
Yep. How often is I mean, how often do we see SHUL losing out their composition, right? It's like it's almost never, but it happened now, twice in a row, and they basically have made a big blunder here. Coming from NT, of course, it was forced onto by Rudius, of course, onto the Patrick, onto the glue, and then from Radium too. That was very weird of him to be in that kind of position. I feel like they were trying to go for a bit of a flank, try to go for the damages in, so that he'll be able to enter onto the backlines and try to kite away. But Elusivity, I think they read this quite well, because he was seen onto the mid lane, and they decided to go full on onto him. And the fact that Rudius was able to zone the other 3 members away was amazingly well done. That's the glyph for you. And of course, he's not going to be dying even if he have the flicker too.
And here comes the Zaman Force. Kakarot already used up his dash. Here comes the clutch. Winter Crown might be able to save him just like last time. And I think it's gonna be okay. Korikuri trying to do something. Mounting on the other hand though. Rudius gets taken down. Oh, Spatial Migration coming in. And Korikuri will most likely get taken down. 1 HP. Retreat. Apex really wants him. But that is not a position you want to be in. The Lord knocks down on the top inhibitor. And I think it's already cracked as well. And right now, it's not looking good for IQ SA2L macro-wise. They've lost their crucial factor, which is of course having the main inhibitor turrets, and losing one, it's just basically a, what can I say, it's like showing a preview of what can happen in the next engages.
The fact that Korikuri was still able to survive from all of those damages, it's amazing here, because this is kind of looking good for the side of AVT. They are able to crack one inhibitor here already, so they are going to be able to have a good long lanes when the star of the turtle, the Lord, comes into play. Level 15 already for NT now, though they are almost going to be onto the same goal as well, because of course I think that the items have also been a very, very good for both of the teams right now, because we are heading into the 15 minutes of the game, and less than a minute they will be working for the Lord here. But the thing is, for EVT, they can relax just a little bit, right? For SHL, they need to have one good pick off if they wanna win out onto this Lord fight.
In the main pickoff, they are looking for almost since the 5-minute mark of the game has been Crisis, but he has been untouchable so far. His Purify has not been even used that much.
Yeah.
Main factor is Kakarot is not able to reach the back end. He wants to go for the flank, but he's not able to, and the only one that's actually actively trying is the one that you don't want. It's Radium, who's trying to go into the back line. And he needs to be safe, but at the same time, I do understand Radium is the one with the most burst right now. He has Blade of Despair and the Hunter Strike. If anybody can burst, it's him. But at the same time, to be in a compromising position, not the best thing. Apex right now, getting chased by 4 people. Here comes the vision. And what was that flicker play? I do think not the best use of it, but the Lord is there. Might go for a possible engage. The damage from NT is quite visible on the front of Julius right now. All members are ready, positioning well. They might be mounting someone with the glue, but decide not to just yet. I think might be going for an engage, but look at the damage coming in. Julius takes down quite low, and right now this is a green signal for the IQ SATL to go in. Radium gets a kill on Rudius. The Roamer is down. Apex dives into the back end. It might just be enough, but I think he might be taking the bullet instead and gets taken out by Crisis. And it's a back and forth, a full-on pulley game. It looks like Korikuri might just fall to the Spatial Migration, but no, Immortal swap right in. But on the other side, SATL Radium takes down Julius, who was low, getting a clutch kill. And with this, both of the teams lose a few members, but it's pretty clear IQ SATL was the one victorious in that gank.
It kind of was weird to say Julius going to that pathing, but a Crisis though.
Oh, they're still going in, and Senju caught in a compromising position, but Kakarot still will be able to secure, of course, the Lord. Oh, Crisis obviously wants to go in for a full-on gung-ho, but is not able to do so. Mainly, well, the Saman Force is down, and so is the Mana. And here are taking a look into the itemization. It's almost 18 minutes of the game. What do you think of the items? I think the Zetian build, what do you think of that?
This is kind of like a G10. I always prefer the book, or something of a cooldown here, a cooldown item for a Zetan, just because of the cooldown of the ultimate. Level 1, I mean level 4 is definitely going to be around 1 minute, a little bit less than 1 minute, but you're going to be needing that stuns, that Fury of the Phoenix, and I think it's very understandable he went for the fleeting time, and then again the penetration as well. But the lightning transition is very important for this hero, because he got a lot of basic damages here, and the ultimate really favors onto it as well, because the passive resonates and it stuns multiple members, and it's gonna be dishing out a lot of damage as well. So the thing is, even though Z10 is not that well known, when he is able to get the perfect stuns, that's a lot of damage that can come through here right now. The Lord is gonna be merging onto the bottom lane here. They might want to focus a bit onto the turrets here, so let's see how they'll be able to perform.
Yeah, they're defending it really well. They get the zoning from Senju, of course, but here comes the Sun with the Fury of the Phoenix. They disable the ultimate from Farsa immediately. Here comes a little bit of a mounting dog right on Radium as well. Rose Gold kicks in, and I think he might be able to survive it. Of course, he's able to do so, but of course, Rudia still wants it to go in. Flicker play as well as conceal, but the burn is going to be revealing him, and he will most likely get taken down away from his team. So it doesn't really matter, but they were able to succeed in it. But Elusive Esports right now just, of course, lost 2 of their inhibitors. Right now, they're the ones on the back end, and IQSA2L have kind of flipped the table because they still have 1 inhibitor turret upper hand so far in this game.
It looked a little so good for EVT for the first previous 3 minutes of the game. Before, oh wait, Apex, he is onto something though.
Wanted to go for perhaps a peel, but he's not able to really do so. Gets caught out, but it's still gonna be okay. They still have a lot of ground to cover, and of course the minions are coming in right now. The base was looking in a little bit of a trouble there. In that last team fight, I noticed it was down to 50%, mainly because of course they were really indulged in that gank. They were putting all the resources and they didn't manage their waves, but right now it's pretty good since they have taken down the inhibitor base. Inhibitor turret. They basically have the super minions going in.
You know, I think I can't get to the part where Julius was getting caught by Radium because he was definitely very low in HP, and I think at one point in the time into the mid lane where he got taken down before the start of the Lord, it could have been avoided if he just went to the path that he was rolling away from, and if he survived, then they're going to be having a lot of time to try to get back into the Lord position and trying to go in, but a lot of damage on NT.
Oh, full on jumping into one person, and that was of course NT. Gets taken out immediately onto the back end of Senju, who almost was about to get taken down by Soul Apex, and on the other side, Kurikuri tries to do the same to Radium, but pays the price, and right now a double kill on top of Radium, who was basically retreating away, and I think he will be able to because of course Rudius wanted to mount on top of him, but was not able to do so, not enough stacks, and with this, looks like both of these teams are on an equal pace. Here comes the knockup. Rudius forces a flicker away and gets out of it. Crisis still hasn't gone in with this amount force just yet, but Apex quite deep in, but of course the Fury of the Phoenix will come in clutch and get the stun in and make sure he's a little bit safe. The waves are coming in though, they gotta make sure that it's really paid attention to, but looks like this Lord is gonna go into the hands of IQSA2L again, most likely taking down the mid inhibitor.
Man, for EVT, they should be very good in trying to defend out this Lord because it's very crucial now. This is a 20-minute Lord, which is basically an evolved Lord, very tanky, very high HP, and it deals out a lot of damage as well. So they have to be very careful because if they make a mistake here, it will be a possible end. Of course, the one inhibitor is still standing, but the super minions and the Lord, they are gonna be very useful for the side of SHL, and they do also have a lot of ways to go for the engages, and I feel like it has to be a P who start the fight onto the Fury of the Phoenix because he can start the damages and get a good stun in, and Apex can go in for the cleanup ride. So now Senju in a good position though. Apex might be caught.
Yeah, most likely, because of course Apex, he has his eyes eagle-eyed right on. Oh, here comes a knockup, but of course Purify will get used up. Crisis is still gonna be safe, but the Lord, it's quite healthy, it's quite funky. Oh, Immortality popped in, and it looks like, okay, Kakarot will be able to retreat, but the Lord still on 50% HP. They're focusing on taking it down. At the same time, IQSA to look for a body to demolish, but they are not able to just find the window just yet. The Lord is gonna get taken down, and their base is gonna be okay, but they are basically completely naked. No more inhibitor turrets for them. And right now, EVT, the minions are going to be knocking on their base non-stop, and they will have to make sure their waves are well managed, or else they might just lose the game to minions. But at the same time, IQSA2 will get not that tough. They're still trying to look for something, and Rudius, he's into the scene. Maybe they will go for in, maybe not. They're trying to put the pressure in. Here comes his Asian's ultimate though, and of course not the Solarization, it was Yushin Shin, and look at the damage coming in from Radium. Julius gets taken down unexpectedly. Apex onto the back end, and Harris wants to dish out the damage, and no Purified. It's finding to get shut it down, and he does. Radium double kill, and this is where the game goes 180, and IQSHL with the gold laner down, with the jungler down. This is the moment where Radium will shine. Triple kill secure, and will go for the base end as IQSHL gets another point in this best of 7 series.
Wow, amazingly well done, IQSHL. I think it could have been much worse on the side of EVT, but Crisis taken down definitely creates a lot of opening for them because he was the main problem here. Of course, it has to be Senju as well, but they do have the Fury of the Phoenix to try to remove it away from everything and stop him from taking out all those things. But oh man, we got the MVP again. And I think it has to be very, very crucial that we decide which one is the better MVP here, because I don't know if it's gonna be. Yeah, I had my doubts onto the MVP. I thought it could have been a P onto the Z10 because the way he was using out the ultimates were perfectly well done. But I think NT, he had a lot of damage, man.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's a. I think it was. I know NT got the MVP, and truthfully so, I mean, his damage was the most crucial factor. I mean, that's the reason he has 3 damage items. But I definitely think Apex was a really important factor in those last team fights because if you notice, he was putting in Senju in a position where he was basically either forced to use his feathers or basically use his ultimate a little bit early on, because the Farsa's main thing is, of course, aiding the team fight, and Senju was not able to do so. So, huge kudos to, of course, Apex. Just, I mean, at first, early of the game, when he wasn't tanky enough, it really felt like, the fact he was in an off position. And he was. Yeah. Of course, he was. There's no justification of that. He was. But as soon as he got his tankiness, when he was able to sustain enough damage, he was successfully able to do. And main thing, basically, just to disengage the mid laner, the main crucial factor that is basically putting up the whole base of EVT, which was Senju, obviously. So great job from, of course, Apex. And on the other side, Radium, obviously, quite underwhelming in the first few minutes of the game. A lot of people were saying his positioning is very bad and he's not able to contribute much to the game. But once full build and he found that window of opportunity, he took it. It was like a golden egg from a geese, and he just immediately snatched it away. And with this, of course, we get the head-to-head comparison as well.
I think the last 8 decade year did not look good for Mr. Radio onto the Yi since the second time for this tournament, right? I think the last minute where he was able to get over the skills was definitely saving him in the KD, and the mispositioning also kind of got overlapped because of that. And I think he did very amazing here too. But to the other side, Kakaret, I think Joseph, it's like we also know him as a utility and an assassin player. Onto the middle, it has to be the Guinevere or the Leoma, right? And I think he really did well onto the Guinevere as well. He was able to win onto the Retribution again and again, and he did lose out onto one, but that was insignificant already because they have a lot of goalie onto their hands too. And the fact that Elusivity pulled up a glue room against a Hilda, it worked, man. I don't hate it. But then again, there was a lack of they weren't able to go for the clean, crisp team fights that they actually wanted to go for, because there's always a one person going into the backlines. Like you said, it was always Apex going in and out, and I think that kind of created a big problem for them too. And onto the XP lane as well, we can see that Lapu, I think Corey Cutie did a really, really good job, but he wasn't able to handle out all of those damages that was coming through from NT, that was coming through from Z10, from Abi, right? Because that is a true damage dealing here onto the second skill, and he did amazing too. But Rich Guy, funny enough, it's not gonna be Crisis. It is Radium.
Honestly, I'm surprised too, because Crisis was ahead like the whole game until the end.
Yeah.
Well, basically Radium pulled up the clutch. So not sure. I think that last shutdowns, he basically stole all the gold away from Crisis. Everything that's yours is mine right now. So yeah. But anyways, of course, SATL V. Great performance with the Zacian. Anytime there was an ultimate coming in from Senju, he also, basically spread his wings and came in with the Fury of the Phoenix. So great gameplay. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going for a short 5 minutes break, might be even shorter. We'll be coming in back with, of course, possibly the last game, because, of course, IQSATL might be going for a 4-0, but maybe not, because EVT might come back. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back with RXG Cup.
You're now rocking with the legendary stunt. And it ain't over until we say it's done. You know what it is. Let's go, baby.
You know I came up from nothing. It's the sun out, you know I ain't stressing. I know you already know what it takes, so follow my lead, let's go. We can roll with the punches. Legends, we fight to the dawn. Heroes all along, don't have to do it alone. Nah. 5-1-5 party victory lap. Find unlock, and if we stick together, we'll end up on top.
Killing every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. Don't have to go solo, low, low, 'cause you're not alone, low, low, low. Together we are heroes, heroes.
Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Taking all of them down, down, down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Make the enemies bow down, down, bow down.
They are heroes.
Fight of our lives, gotta survive. Walk on the 515. About to go live, party and die. We go with savage tonight. Step in the spot with my crew. Together we're stronger than ever. You know how we do. We'll be start your through. Victory's ours. I would've thought you knew. We're unstoppable. MVP defeat ain't optional. This ain't hard to do. Our team achieve the impossible. My whole squad is lit. Ain't gonna target that is hard to hit. Legendary when we rockin' it. Ain't no stopping this.
Got in my mind, feeling like a sinner. But in your eyes, I'm fighting like a winner. Triple killer, yeah. You know I deliver, yeah. I'm still in your words like a criminal. Feeling this thing in it personal. Taking it one at a time, being a beast in the crowd. Face just like an angel, but I beg just like a devil. That's what it is, right? So if you turn your back, I make sure I back. Every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. I bring hell from below, low, 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 low. I leave you begging, begging for more. Together we are heroes, heroes.
Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Taking all of them down, down, down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Make the enemies bow down, down, bow down.
They are heroes.
You're now rocking with the legendary stunt. And it ain't over until we say it's done. You know what it is. Let's go, baby.
You know I came up from nothing. It's the sun out, you know I ain't stressing. I know you already know what it takes, so follow my lead, let's go. We can roll with the punches. Legends, we fight to the dawn. Heroes all along, don't have to do it alone. Nah, nah, nah. 515 party victory lap. Find our enemies, maniac, yeah. We're looking out for the world. Everyone you know they heard, stop. Yeah, with the team, don't stop. Fiery heart of a dragon, attackers unlocking. If we stick together, we'll end up on top.
Killing every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. Don't have to go solo, low, low, 'cause you're not alone, low, low, low. Together we are heroes, heroes.
Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Taking all of them down, down, down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now, 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 now. Make the enemies bow down, down, bow down.
They are heroes.
Fight of our lives, gotta survive. Walk on the 515. About to go live, party and die. We go with savage tonight. Step in the spot with my crew. Together we're stronger than ever. You know how we do. We'll be start your through. Victory's ours. I would've thought you knew. We're unstoppable. MVP defeat ain't optional. This ain't hard to do. Our team achieve the impossible. My whole squad is lit. Ain't gonna target that is hard to hit. Legendary when we rockin' it. Ain't no stopping this.
Got in my mind, feeling like a sinner. But in your eyes, I'm fighting like a winner. Triple killer, yeah. You know I deliver, yeah. I'm still in your words like a criminal. Feeling this thing in it personal. Taking it one at a time, being a beast in the crowd. Face just like an angel, but I beg just like a devil. That's what it is, right? So if you turn your back, I make sure I back. Every challenge, the level of a queen, but we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. I bring hell from below, low, 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 low. I leave you begging, begging for more. Together we are heroes, heroes.
Yeah, we are unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right
You're now rocking with the legendary stunt. And it ain't over until we say it's done. You know what it is. Let's go, baby.
You know I came up from nothing. It's the sun out, you know I ain't stressing. I know you already know what it takes, so follow my lead, let's go. We can roll with the punches. Legends, we fight to the dawn. Heroes all along, don't have to do it alone. Nah. 5-1-5 party victory lap. Find our enemies, maniac, yeah. We're looking out for the world. Everyone you know they heard, stop. Get with the team, don't stop. Fiery heart of a dragon, attack is unlocking. If we stick together, we'll end up on top.
Killing every challenge, the level of a queen. But we double the damage when we're fighting as a team. Don't have to go solo, cause you're not alone, Together we are heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now. Taking all of them down to the ground. Together we are legendary heroes. Yeah, we are unstoppable. Yeah, we winning right now. Make the enemies bow down. They are heroes.
Fight of our lives, gotta survive. Walk on the 5-1-5. About to go live, party or die. We go as savage tonight. Step in the spot with my crew. Together we're stronger than ever. You know how we do. Will we start your through? Victory's ours. I would've thought you knew. We're unstoppable. MVP defeat ain't optional. This ain't hard to do. Our team achieve the impossible. My whole squad is lit. Ain't gonna target that is hard to hit. Legendary when we rockin' it. Ain't no stopping this.
Got in my mind, feeling like a sinner. Look in your eyes, I'm fighting like a winner. Triple killer, yeah. You know I deliver, yeah. I'm stealing your words like a criminal. Feeling this thing in it personal. Taking it one at a time, being a beast in the crowd. They just like an angel, but I beg just like a devil.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to of course the RXG Cup, and we might be in for possibly the last game, because of course the score is 3-4-0 in favor of IQ SATUL against Team Elusivity Esports, and of course a 2.5 lakhs prize pool prize is on the line for them, as well as qualifying for the LAN event. So let's see if the side of EVT can of course turn things around for them, or if not, IQSA will walk away with of course a 4-2-0. As you can see, the draft is already in progress to the halfway, and of course I am back again, myself Ray, and I'm joined by a great analyst Debbie. And of course, Debbie, analyze the draft for us then.
I like the fact that we are already game number 3, and the Elise and the Esmeralda is already banned away by Elusivity, and they actually, for the side of SHL, they actually focus onto the late game, right? They focus onto the Kimi, and they remove the Buckshot. They don't want the Buckshot anymore, because the Buckshot has been a consistent red pick for their side. But I like the fact that Senju is still on a carry hero like the Lunox, because now it opens out a versatility for the goal lane, right? They can also go for a bit of a utility into the goal lane side, a little bit of a sustain or a crowd control that can be big. But the fact that Apex is already on to the Khalid, which cannot be melted easily by a Lunox, kind of give them the upper hand, and they have the Uranus too. And there's no Yi Sin still pick up by both of the teams, man.
Because it's banned out by the side of Elusivity Esports. And also the fact that I like the thing you mentioned, that of course about the Lunox, right? Of course, one of the mages that is it's still like a well debated one. Many people prefer her, many people say she's like really low tier. It really depends upon the preferences and how well you can execute it. And of course, in a final game like this, EVT might be taking it in a gamble, but let's see how well it will pay off for them. At least one good thing, they have the Grok, one of the great initiators with of course the Tectonic Charge, and in general a really great heavy tank to have. Not to mention they even have the Yu Zhong, which I think has had a really high ban rate on this tournament so far. So let's see how good they fare against IQ SATUL, who's right now going for of course the Kadita and the Khalid, as well as the Uranus. Do you think the Uranus will be shifted to a jungle role like in a last moment to do a switcheroo?
I hope not. I mean, Kakarot, come on. He can play the Leomort, he can play any kind of assassins that he wants if it's in favor of his server, that is it. But I don't want him on the Uranus. Man, I kind of it works, but I really hate that Uranus into the jungle for some reason. It's a purpose,
too, don't
personal
worry.
preference. That's
It's
what
not
I thought.
flashy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not.
flashy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. We want flashy, right? We want flashy, a good damage into the jungle. I mean, the Guinevere can be flashy too, and the Leomord is very flashy. They have a big aura too. So that's why I think maybe maybe they just put something different with a good damage onto the hands of Kakarot here. But they ban out the Joanne the Guinevere already. Oh wow, a Granger, long time no see.
That too on the hand of Radium, who has
Radium.
pulled up, of course, insane miracles with the Granger itself. And the fact that it's most likely a comfort pick too. But of course, takes time, takes scaling. But once it's done, once the Sky Bristles starts stacking up, and if it reaches that, not even 8-0, even 7-0, like 6-7-0, you will basically be on a full-on snowball, and it's at that point, it's kind of game over. So they have to make sure it doesn't reach to that point. On the other hand, they're going to be going with the Suyo jungle. Or is it going to be... I think yesterday or the day ago before. Yeah, the day ago before, we saw a Suyo into the gold lane. So let's see if it might be secured like that. But I think Crisis is not the one to really go for that. Instead, yep, it's going to be going
there we go.
for Sora on the gold lane. Is it?
Sora.
Hmm.
The fact that
Sir, what's your command?
they can.
Oh, okay,
never mind.
Flashy.
Okay. Oh, Flashy.
Good
We
job.
asked for Flashy. Thank you. Because I feel like there's no direct lockdown that can basically be a hinder for the Fanny. Of course, Kakarot's Fanny, and we want him to be flying around across the map. And I think the studio might eventually have been struggling just a little bit in comparison to the Fanny and to the Jungung's pick also, and of course into the lane as well. I mean, just going for the macros type, the long lane play style type. Ah man, these things are looking so good for the side of Acid Duel here, just because of the last pick into the Fanny. They are going to be able to win out into the lane here again. And of course, when you talked about the Uranus pair up together with a hero that can go for a minor set, it's definitely going to be amazing, because this hero can be the opener and the follow-up can be from the Khalid coming through. But elusivity though, they have a Sora this time around, so they might eventually try to go for a winning lane into the gold lane side. They have a damage already from Chanju. This kind of created a lot of spacing for their gold laner to go for the utility, and I think they played this quite well. But there's also one factor though, right? They should have a winning XP lane.
I think they can with the Yu Zhong, because of course Yu Zhong has way more damage compared to, of course, the Uranus, who is just much more of a sandbag kind of a hero. So I think they can kind of win it, especially considering Kori Cutie. I think he can do it for himself. But at the same time, just like you mentioned, the Lunox is very glass cannon in this game, because it's pretty obvious she's the only squishy in this game, and she's the only target that you need to take down. And that too, giving it to Senju, it might be a very risky gamble that we were talking about previously. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, we go into the Land of Dawn. This is going to be the expanding river map, and in between Elusivity Esports on the blue side and IQ SA2L on the red side, possible final game, 4-0 sweep possibility showing up for themselves, and EVT is trying to stop it. EVT is trying to get it to the 5th game, but let's see if it's gonna happen or not. Already a lot of contention happening in the top lane itself, and the flicker pushed out, but of course we'll see what the result of it is pretty soon. Oh, Apex playing too much with, I think, a rocky guy. It is time to retreat.
He have to retreat, but he does have the passive, right? That he's always going to be able to survive all of these onslaught most of the time. And I think remembering the fact that the Senju is going for the Wilderness Blessing instead of a bit of a damage or a bit of a utility style, it could have been much better if he go for the full damage, right? He can go for the Mystery Shop or either the Master Assassin. I mean, the Master Assassin is a bad deal. Wait, he can actually go for the Mystery Shop, and it could have been much better. He can actually have a good favor when he have the items early on and get that the damage is done. Maybe he just want to have a good rotation faster, but Apex though, trying to be such a nuisance against Rudius under the grow, which we basically consider as a direct counter. Not a counter, but for a Grok. Okay, that's a good poke into the mid side. But back to the point though, for Grok, right, you're able to reach out the Grok with the Khalid, and I think that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and that was a really close call for, of course, none other than Abhi on the mid lane. If it wasn't for the passive of the Kadena, he was basically down by that arrow itself,
Yeah.
Evil Queller. But oh, look at that, the Fanny coming in. Petrify getting used up a little bit early and might be getting the cutthroat.
Wow.
And first blood secured for Kakarot immediately. And time for a retreat. And retreat they do. But oh, Apex might be... Nah, he's got the sand, you know, he's just gonna eat it and
He's
it'll
got
be
sand.
all healthy.
Yeah, that's the good version. Level 1 Kali is already very, very good. But oh, rough waves.
Oh, really great rough waves with the tornado eye combo. Abhi with the great micros gets the kill from Rudius. Really great set of skills right there, and he's going to be retreating to safety. Sora joining the team fight, and he might be a little bit too ahead, and he gets the taste of it. A double kill secured by the Cloud Boy, and he's going to be going in back. And with this, the score is 2-4-2, and the turtle, it might be going into the hands of Julius pretty soon if Kakarot has something to say.
If?
Let's see. Oh, purple already in his hands. Let's see. Can come in for a clutch. Retribution seal. Here comes the wall, and he does so. Kakarot seals it right under the nose of Julius, despite the Soul Saver, and gets a kill from Cody Cutie. Doesn't really stop anywhere. And with this, the side of Team Elusive Esports again into the corner.
They are pushing it so back again and
Abhi.
again. Oh, Abhi!
He forces out the brilliance.
Oh, this guy is an assassinator. He's everywhere. The position that he was in was also good. It was just that the brilliance. This is the Lunox, right? If it was any other mazes, I don't think he would be able to survive though. But Rudy is taking out a lot of damage. Look at that. I think Kakarot,
he?
he's so comfortable.
Quite low on energy, and the wall also came
Oh.
in. He did not expect that wall to be showing up, immediately depleting his energy, and he gets taken down.
Man.
Rudius coming in a little bit clutch with that wall this time around. Oh, Crisis taken out a bit low, but of course here comes the thunderous wall. Clouds, and he's gonna be all okay. He just regened it back, and his team is here too, so they're gonna be fine. War X for Crisis, and Skyburster for Radium already. First item,
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
First item.
Kadena comes in with the rough waves, but will go back. Doesn't really take down anyone. Senju, another brilliance being used. A lot of resources in the mid lane.
They burned out the brilliance as if it was nothing, which made it a little bit less aggressive for elusivity. But oh, good read, Mr. Abbey. This is why you ban out the Kadita from this dude, man. That was a good immune coming through from now. They, for the side of EVT here, they have to wait at least 30 seconds to go for the sets here because they are not having out the best resources that they can have right now, and this can be a possible turtle set for the side of SH2L2. But the fact that there's so much pressure onto the XP again and again, and EVT are not responding to this, is kind of biting them into the back, right? Because you know, never mind, look at this, Dragon already popped yet again, so another 70 seconds will they have to wait for the Dragon to come back through. So this should be a winning turtle for the side of SH2L.
Yeah, they don't have the EXP, and they don't have the jungle anymore either. And the Assassin of he takes it down. Here comes, of course, the Sandman putting in the pressure, and the Fanny taking out Senju as well. No brilliances, and might just be a full-on wipeout. Crisis, the only one standing, tries to take a kill, tries to do something, but it's a full 5-man wipeout from the side of IQ SH2L. Clean and swift.
Clean and swift, man. That was a good bait at the very start of the XP already. Because I would like to think that, you know, when you have a Yuzong, you might wanna have the Yuzong safe, right? I mean safe as in he's gonna be very, very healthy most of the time, and try to get him out of the lane and give him ahead onto the goal as well as XP and level, so that he will be able to become that big winning factor that he's supposed to be. Because a Yuzong who's already 3 dead star is definitely not going to be the best frontliner too, and of course he's not going to be having out the damages as well. And I think SHL do understand this really, really well, and they have been putting up the pressure on the Yuzong again and again.
Yeah, and so far it has been working tremendously well. Right now, the lanes have been switched up. The goal lane has gone to the bottom side, and Crisis gets taken down by the Sky Piercer, and Radium gets a stack on himself. Oh wait, did he not get the kill? Yeah, he did. He did 102. It was delayed notification, but still it's gonna be the taking Crisis going on into the bottom lane, and T wants to go in for the engage, but of course they're underneath the turret. They're gonna be completely fine on the other side. B going in for a possible kill. Here comes a Petrifido retaliation. B gets taken down finally by the Chaos. damage coming in from the Lunox, and Anti right now will try to retreat. Apex with the full HP is trying to go in with the surfboard, but of course has to flicker away from danger and gonna be okay. But they do lose out Abhi in that team fight, and on the other side, Kakarot gonna be going for that macro split.
I feel like I should, dare I say that it can be still worse for the side of SHL here, Rudius.
Oh, Rudius gets almost into putting in a pressure, but here comes the Chaos Assault. A lot of damage on 20. He gets taken down, but of course at the price of Senju takes himself down by the blade of Fanny, cut-throated, and at the same time the collateral was Julius, who was also trying to retreat. IQ SA2L right now at 4,000 gold lead, and it's not even the last hurdle yet.
That's, oh man, this hurts so much to look at because most of the time, you know, when you can see that the engages were perfectly done by SHL and Rudius has been able to divert them most of the time again and again, but then they completely forgotten about the existence of a Fanny, and Kakarot, he just comes in when they already wasted out all the resources. He just fly in, get the kills, get the cutthroat, and fly back without getting any damages on him, and he's able to survive time and time again, and it's gonna be very, very bad for the side of EVT here again and again. But they don't really have any answer to this Fanny, so they have to be very careful and not, you know, wasting out the resources again and again. But there's also a big thing that Soul, they always try to bait out each and every of their resources, especially out onto the Brilliance, so that Kakarot can go in again and again.
And with this right now, the side of IQ SA2L obviously looking for that sweep 4-0. Here comes a tectonic charge, but it's not gonna be enough. A cutthroat takes down Rudius, and with this, their frontliner is down. The Dragon, though, with on the air, tries to go in for a possible engage, maybe, but it doesn't have the Petrify. Doesn't use the Petrify just yet. He's still going in, trying to fight in, but the damage from Radium is gonna be there, and Anti takes a kill, and so does Radium. They're gonna be going in for a triple. No, it's a double kill, but I think I predicted it well. They go for the triple indeed, and with this, a full wiped out, a success for Radium. IQ SA2L 7,000 gold lead and 40 stacks on that Sky Piercer, and it's looking unstoppable. Only Rudius to defend it, but it's not going to be enough.
It's kind of like a cinematic, right? Because everything that he have is actually 404 to the score, 40 to the stacks, and 400 onto the Caprice as well. Oh man, never mind. That's gonna be the 5, right? That's 50 already.
He just wanted to deny you that, maybe, but
yeah.
But right now, yeah, how dare you, Radium? Right? Should have done that. Should have remained on the 404. It looked good, man. It looked energetic. Nice. But right now you gotta get that assist as well. Kakarot on the top lane might go for a cutthroat, and yes, he does. Monster kill secured. With this, Sora still tries to engage though, wants to get a kill on 20, but too tanky. The frontliners just needs to go back.
Oh man, NT doesn't die anymore. There's no one who can shred him down as well. Senju!
Oh, okay. He's fine. He's fine. Oh. That wall.
Oh my god.
Maybe the wall helped him a little bit.
I think it has to do with the Purifier as well. Oh my, that was such a close call. And the fact that Abhi was able to find the perfect targeting even when it was inside their base is definitely saying a lot. 9k gold lead, let's just say 10k, because yeah, there we go, that's a 10k, and they're going to be taking in the Lord. That's going to be additional 2k again. Even though it's not going to be Evolve Lord, that's just 10-minute Lord. They still have the Holy Blessing that can come through, but it's already broken down again. SHL, they are dead ahead. And just second build for the side of Senju. Oh man, he got the anti-heal of course, but I guess it's already a tad bit too late. He don't really have the damages, and he's a single targeting hero, and the fact that there's always someone who he needs to kill is definitely going to be hurting him. And look at that, Kakarot just tries styling onto them, man, and I don't think Lucidity will fall for that. But the fact that the minions are pouring in on both sides, on 3 sides into the middle, also it's gonna be hard for the side of Elusivity to clear, and they also gonna have to focus on the Lord that is gonna be merging into the mid lane again.
Yeah, and with this Lord marching down the mid lane, it's basically writing the ending for the side of Felicity Esports on this journey, because of course most likely they can go in, because you can clearly see the level disparity. It's pretty high. Kakarot is already level 15, 4 levels higher than Julius, and then you also take in the gold laners as well. Max levels versus Kakarot goes in with the cables, tries to force something. Senju already forced to go back. Here comes of course the Sandman. Taken down quite low, but it doesn't really matter because the Lord's gonna be full health. Here comes a knock of a monster kill secured for the Granger. Radium is unstoppable, but they finally get a kill onto Abhi. Yet really doing everything. Tectonic charge to force the side of IQ SA2L back. doing everything in their power to go for a good defense. They're able to do so far, but the Radium, too much damage into the Sky Piercer, and of course the Death Sonatas takes down targets one by one. A triple kill secured. Wants to go for a Maniac, but you know, he might not just be able to, or does he want to? I don't think so.
He wants
can just
to.
go in for the base, but ultimately this game is going to be going into the hands of IQ SA2L as they are the champions for Gyan track, and with this they will get the 2.5 lakh prize, as well as qualifying for the LAN event at Kolkata against, of course, the other team from Rise Star Track. And congratulations to SA2L for getting this position, and you know that's a lot of money.
I mean, I've been focusing on to that too. It's not only that's a lot of money, man. You have money to travel now, and oh man, this is gonna be another land that they have onto their kit here. And I think this is gonna be the first time this year they will be going to the land. And I mean, it's gonna be very, very good for them now. EVT, they came to a close goal. I mean, 4-0 is the score. We know that it was clean swept, but the fact that they put it a little bit of a fight into their side against SHL was amazingly well done. But that last game was such a stampede coming through, and who else to blame, right? Except for the brain of the team, Mr. Apex onto the Khalid. That's gonna be the MVP with 82% KP.
A pretty insane statistics right there with the Khalid itself as well. You know, he's not the most used roamer, but at the same time, whenever he's used, especially by roamers like, of course, Apex, they really put in the work and they really make him good use. A lot of the times, you think that he's in a bad position, but every time he had the quicksand guard to just heal back all the HP for themselves. And also the fact that I definitely think the side of EVT Sports, they definitely had too many. I mean, it was too obvious. Senju was the main target and the rest were just utility. Yep. Julius on the Suyo, of course, was not able to do much, especially against the Fanny. I think they should have definitely kept it in their mind that there could be a pocket pick coming in. But to be fair, there were too many pocket picks coming in from the side of IQS as well. Suddenly the Granger came in, suddenly the Kadira came in, suddenly the Fanny came in as well. And a lot of people don't obviously like the Fanny, but in the hands of Kakarot, aka Joseph, it works.
It works. He worked out with the Fanny. That's his style. And I think it really, really fit the way that he usually play, because, you know, as a jungler, you need to be greedy, right? How can you be greedy? Just play the Fanny. And I think he's a very greedy jungler in a good way. You have to be a very greedy jungler when you have an assassin onto your side, and I think that's the way that the Fanny was able to be played into the hands of Joseph here. And I think they really, really did out onto this communication well too, because I think Sora was a good pick here, but then again, the rotations were perfectly on point. Until the later part of the game, it becomes kind of prominent that the Granger should be able to have a better time. He hasn't been taken down, no shutdown for this Granger at all. And the fact that they always have a big pressure from the side lanes all the time from the Fanny again and again is kind of splitting them quite a lot. And because, you know, when you have a Sora, you want to stay into the fights together as much as possible, but for SHL, they always separate them. They always divert their attention from the sides and not letting them go anywhere near. And I also like the fact that they always focus onto the Yuzhong, not letting him farm, not letting him be getting the tankiness that he needs to be. And it became so bad that the Yuzhong did not become a problem at all into the later part of the game. It's just one set onto a B that he was able to do so. But onto the roamer here, I think Rudius did what he could do. Apex was just too fast, I guess.
Especially, I mean the Grok is very utilitarian kind of hero. You know, his main thing, give the walls and go for sets. Setter. Khalid is kind of there, but at the same time, he has the movement speed to really combat the fact that, you know, Grok is obviously slower compared to him. And it really, really was, of course, into their favor. And of course, it's no doubt the rich guy and the carry goes to, of course, SHL Radium. And I mean, it's one of his comfort heroes. We've seen it time and time again, and anytime he gets it, it's just a full-on annihilation, and it was just there. And of course, Sandbag, it is pretty funny. Why isn't the Sandman the Sandbag? It is wrong. It should have been
It is
Khalid.
wrong.
Yeah, it should have been the Khalid. Like, what do you mean the dude who literally consumes sand is in the Sandbag? But yeah, jokes aside, of course, congratulations to, of course, SA2L for getting that massive, massive prize. And with this, they have qualified for the LAN event at Kolkata, and we are obviously excited excited to see who will face them. And of course, that will be decided tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, right? Tomorrow at Rise Star Track Finale, which is, I think, Jutsu versus Godlike, is it? Was it?
Yes, Jutsu versus Godlike. Two big teams, another one. But there's also a big... I mean, in Mythic Showdown, it was EVT, RNTX, Godlike, and then SHL, right? And the only change up is Jutsu instead of RNTX. So we are so consistent, right, onto the top 3 teams that we have so far. EVT made it this big, and I think it's very congratulatory for them to try to be able to get to the finals here. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game as well. But I hope that it's not a 4-0 like today, because we won a big competition here all the time. But it's got like, we never know. Jutsu can be the game changer. We can't tell.
Absolutely. I mean, we all love to see total domination is really great, but what even more is exciting to go all the 7 games, right? I mean, it might be bad for us casters because we're getting tired here, and it might be bad for the people who are sitting in the back. But hey, it is exciting. It is filled with hype for, of course, our dear audiences, and of course, it is pretty cinematic if you can go for that. And hey, if a reverse sweep happens, those moments get written down into history of ML. So let's see what will happen tomorrow. But today, of course, congrats so much to SATL. And yeah, I really love the fact that you mentioned Elusivity. The fact that, a lot of people might say, hey, Elusivity lost again. They got 4-0. They're not a good team. They made it to the finale. Making it consistently on the top 4 of Indian leaderboards, it's an impressive feat. And they've been doing it all throughout here. And, I think they might make it. And I hope they continue this pace. And one day we might be able to see them in the finale itself. So until then, of course, we'll continue our journey, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, right, Debbie?
Yeah, tomorrow we will have a see. And who is going to be the second team that will go into the land and win out onto the Rise Star track? Because we already had a finale for the Gyan won. So let's see tomorrow. So I think we have to say goodbyes, right? Or do you want to stay more?
No, nothing much. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you take care. Of course, stay hydrated and good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the Rise Star finale.
I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. 'Cause we never end.